Hi, Paul. Kill Jadis.
Oh.
Welcome in. Paul, we were just talking about you, about how we love that picture that you tweeted.
Oh my gosh, that was the best, Paul.
So good.
Lala Meloso, what's up, my man? Animal Mother.
Hey!
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Aaron?
What's up, John Ogle?
Hey, John.
Ty, the Raider. What's up, my man?
What's up, Ty?
Tyrone Graves says, I will survive the McDaniel era.
Hang in there. Hang in there.
First he was afraid. He was petrified.
Oh, nice. Well, this is Ebony's second McDaniel stint.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Brutal.
Oh, you're right.
We have like 8 people in the chat room tonight. What's up, Lencho? Yeah, no defense here, my friend. All right, only because we have to. Let's talk about the Raiders and kick off episode number 271 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop and top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, collecting top, a leaping top, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic, although sad sacky episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 271 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live from Murph's Fan Cave, or as the kids call it, the bonus room. We appreciate you, so very many of you that are joining us live tonight in the chat room. Appreciate everyone at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, where you can find us each and every week at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and in there you can find the likes of Matthew Mangus, Sergio Burgos is in there, Jesus Alvarez is in there, Yoshi is in there, Stacy Rough Raider is in there, Mr. Bjorkman is in there, Square State Sandlot Podcast is in there, Paul Edgerton is in there, Joel Denning, CPA Joel is in there. Let's see, other Paul. Well, there's Paul and then there's Paul. So we have Paul and Paul now, right? So we have, whoa, was that right? What'd I say? Paul? How many Pauls we got? I said Joel. Then I mixed it up with Paul. I'm all over the damn place. Sorry about that.
God.
We're down. We're
I know.
just
First,
down,
I
guys.
mixed up Ebony and
Will
PFP.
you stifle yourself?
Mixed them up last week, and I'm mixing up Paul's and Joel's. And how about Lencho?
We're in shambles, just like the Raiders locker room.
I know, right? Shambles.
Oh, Lord.
Big Shane is in there. Much respect, Big Shane.
Yes.
We've got show what we're sending Big Shane there. Well, yes, thank you for that, Big Shane. But show him the watch, Jeff. We're sending him the watch.
Well, putting me on the spot. Give me 10 minutes to unwrap this thing.
Not on unwrap the whole thing. Just hold it up there real fast.
Oh, we are really.
There you go. Seeing Victor NFL watch. Thank you, Big Shane. That's coming on the way to you soon.
It's in
Thanks,
about
Vanna.
8 boxes
Thank
in
you,
here,
Vanna.
so it is secure and protected.
Raider-born Rico is in there holding it down in the Canary Islands. He says, regardless, go Raiders. Love you.
right.
Man, we love you too, brother, and I appreciate you being here. Brian Santana says, hey, Murph, what happened with Mikey? Hope he's well. Mikey's good, man. He's hanging in there, and we're going to hopefully do Mondays with Mikey and Murph very, very soon. Mikey and I still talk all the time. He's a good friend. Animal Mother's in there. What's up, Animal Mother? John Ogle, Lala Meloso. Man, so many of our good friends in there. At Pineapple is in there. Chris is in there. Ebony
baby?
Graves. Mojo's in there. Man, so many. Super Deuce. Love it, love it. Love seeing all of our good friends. We appreciate you showing up for this little Raiders Fan Radio podcast when we really don't have anything fun to talk about. But we're gonna get through it together, Raider Nation, just like we do each and every week. But I'm not gonna do it alone here in the Fan Cave, of course not. Also joining me in the Fan Cave, to my right, the man that adorns the Western Annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff.
Holy cow.
Jeez.
You okay, buddy?
No, I need to be like Dr. Johnny Fever. The more I drink, the quicker and more alert I'll become.
Oh, good. Well, chug it.
We got some ground to cover.
Yeah, for sure, man.
There we go,
Yeah,
Raider
hey.
Nation. Salud.
Salud, man. Salud. So hey, so it's good to be here, man. The team is crazy right now. It's all over the place. We're 2-7. So let's just have fun, man, because
That's all we can do, right?
That's all we can do, man. Follow us on the TikTok if you want to get a laugh and all that stuff. We had a great time with Scott Gilbranson right after the game. We were cutting up and laughing because what else can you do? What else can you do?
You did a good job. And
that's great.
we've got on
thanks.
the respect today, those guys of having not only I join them each and every week on Silver and Black today, but Scott opened the door and welcomed you to that show, and we had an
Yeah.
absolute blast on
It
it.
was so much fun.
and you were funny as shit, dude. You did good.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we don't do.
Hey, leave room for applause.
Oh yeah,
That's what he was waiting for.
Because everybody is in their fan caves at the house,
Yep.
standing up and applauding your
Absolutely.
appearance. There you go.
This is what I thought.
That is the voice of an angel. I can't even make eye contact with you right now.
Your voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus.
Oh.
You're good.
I know. Oh my gosh! But hey, we don't do this show.
We
alone.
don't do this show alone.
Absolutely not. So to my right, the southern annex of the western annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk. Please welcome in Michelle Swag.
Hey,
Hey.
Michelle.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm ready to bring everybody in for a group hug.
There we
We're
go.
all kind of down bad, but it's really good to see all the people that showed up in the chat. Like they still want to talk about the Raiders. Go figure.
The Raiders.
What is wrong with you people?
Yeah. Well, the Raiders is what's brought all of us together.
That's exactly right.
But
Yep.
but we stick around for each other.
Yeah, we do.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
right.
That's
Yep.
right.
That's exactly.
Absolutely. Good stuff there. And again, we appreciate everybody that is there in the chat room tonight. Vibrator's in there. That's my girl, Valerie. What's up, baby? Let's see. Matthew Mangus is in there. Rogue Code is in there. Reader-born Rico, as I mentioned. Stacy Ruff, man. So many of our good friends. So Michelle, you have a new segment we're going to get to tonight.
I do.
We're excited. Michelle's got her own segment. She's got her own gear. She's got her own swag, which she's wearing there. And if
way
you
do I
want to
go?
get the Michelle shirt or many other shirts, Jeff,
Yes.
where can folks find those things?
Well, you can just go to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear, click the T-shirt, and you can get all the Michelle swag
Oh,
that
the
you could
Christmas
ever
shirt.
want. That we have just dropped that shirt. So the camera's on Murph right now. If you're listening on the audio, Murph is standing up. He's wearing our special limited edition Raiders Fan Radio Christmas shirt. I'm wearing mine as well, and we're super excited about this. So it's for a limited time. So normally you can get all of our other incarnations of shirts, other logos, all that kind of stuff. But this one's a little bit special because just from now until the end of the year. So you get that. So when all that money that we make selling those shirts goes to the One Nation Foundation, and have you talked about the One Nation Foundation yet?
No, I'm talking about anything. Talk about it,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Also,
so-
right now, though, after the show, go straight to TeePublic because they're having a sale right now, 35%
Yes, well, if
off.
you have
So
Google-
up to 35%
If
off.
you have
So go.
Google Chrome, just open up another tab.
Yep, there
you
you
can do
go.
it right
There you
here. Let me spell it for you. RAIDER. Yeah, just go to the thing. Yeah, it's 35%.
Go now.
35% off. They've been
Yeah.
running sales all week long, all month long, really. So go get a damn shirt, man. What are you doing?
100% of the proceeds go to the One Nation
One
Foundation.
Nation Foundation. So we realized we could raise money a few years ago doing this thing. So we raised money for different Raider-related charities. Bolitnikoff. We've raised money for Stabler, the Greater Youth Sports Organization in Las Vegas, all that stuff. We raised money for all sorts of folks. So we're giving to the Bolitnikoff Foundation again. We are going next month. Almost
to the day, Michelle?
Oh,
Show me a check, Michelle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Stand up right there. Yeah. Grab that check. So, because of you, Raider Nation, because of all the generosity that you have given and the shirts and the swag and the straight donations, all that stuff, Michelle is holding it right there. We are presenting a check to the Bolitnikoff Foundation for $10,000. That's right. $10,000. So much respect to you guys, Raider Nation.
Awesome.
You made this possible, and we're going to represent you next month. And it's super cool. We're super excited. So much respect to everybody.
Awesome, man. Good stuff there. And so we appreciate all of you. And listen, if you can't donate monetarily or buy a t-shirt or any of those things, just do us a favor and like and subscribe. Tell your friends about the show. That is a great way for us to generate revenue as well through the advertising benefits that we get through our good friends at Fansided and Just Blog Baby, where we are the official Raiders podcast. And so we appreciate their endorsement of our show and the platform that they give us to be able to raise money for the One Nation Foundation. So we appreciate you all very, very much. All right. So as I mentioned, this is episode number 271 of Raiders Fan Radio, and my best friend and yours always takes that episode number and ties it back to something significant within Raider Nation. So Jeff is very excited about the one that we have tonight.
Yeah.
And so let me go ahead and send it over to the Western Annex.
Yeah, absolutely. So before I bring up the 271, Uncle Mosh's chair is in the chat again this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
says I wish Raider Ramon would have stuck around me instead of hurting me.
Oh,
Yes.
so Uncle Mosh's chair coming to us from beyond the grave.
From beyond the grave, from
Wow.
Middle Point Landfill here in Middle Tennessee.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, absolutely. So each and every week I take a significant moment. Every week I take a significant moment within Raider Nation.
That's right.
Yeah, be excited about it, Jeff.
Get pumped.
No, this ain't very significant. It's okay. And I didn't do this one because I can't stand this guy. But each and every week, I take a moment within Raider Nation, related back to the episode number, and it's 271. So we're going back to 2011. 2 weeks after the death of Al Davis. Extremely sad.
Wow, absolutely.
So Hugh Jackson brokers a trade to bring in superstar quarterback, recently retired quarterback,
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer, to quarterback this team. In 25 games, he played for the Raiders in 2011, 2012. He threw for 6,771 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 47 interceptions. I don't know if that's true. It seemed like it.
I believed it.
It seemed like it, but
And 40, two of those were pick sixes.
absolutely they were. Yeah, for sure. So if you do the math on that, which I don't know why you would, because it's a Carson Palmer stat, but you break it down as 271 yards a game. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So
Nice.
Carson Palmer, thank you very, very
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Yeah. Great stuff there, buddy.
All right, well, here, I've got one for you then instead, Jeff.
Okay.
How about this?
Okay.
And then take us to contact info after
Please.
this. Okay, because I want this to really sit. Like, hit the post, as the kids say. I really want this to sit with our chat room because I want to hear your response, chat room. So right now, we are at episode number 271. The Raiders are 2-7. If we tie the Broncos this week, 2-7-1. Sorry.
I thought you said he had a good one.
Did I say good?
Well, a tie is a little better than losing.
Oh,
so.
see? Thank you, Michelle.
Michelle with the silver lining.
Absolutely.
Just tie, baby.
Just tie, baby.
Woo.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got
Just
your
tie,
old Uncle
baby.
Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murph would say it,
909-345-3346.
How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio.
The tiki-tiki-taki-talk.
TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was.
Good.
Ah, damn it.
Michelle.
Damn it, Michelle.
Wow.
The hell?
The whole offensive line moved, and you're just still holding on to the football.
Dude, the football never.
You were picking up. You were picking up a wrench.
I was
or
Foster
whatever.
Moreau in the end zone that just hit my hands and hit the ground. Like, God
Oh
dang,
my
what
God.
was that, y'all?
Come on.
That was funny. All right. Well, I'll tell you
good.
what.
This is
Speaking
a
of
good-
You know
Michelle.
what? I was going to say, speaking of Michelle. All right. So
Now
here
I'm
we-
really mad.
Good. So we've got a new segment around here. We're gonna call this. I'm not even gonna set it up. I'm just gonna set it off. I'm gonna hit the button. I'm just gonna say, welcome to the new segment around here called "For Whom Michelle Tolls."
Okay, now I got to try to do this without flaming all the F-bombs. Okay. If I hear McDaniels one more time squeak out the phrase, "It is what it is," my head's going to literally pop off my shoulders, jettison into the unknown. We'll never be able to find it. Like, you're the head coach. You don't get to say, "It is what it is." Like, that's you. We're fans. We're nobodies. We can say it is what it is, right? Like, we don't have any control over everything.
Sure.
Like, the guys warming the bench, they can say it is what it is. They don't have any control over anything. You're the damn head coach. You can literally change the
You
is,
have all
the
the
what,
control.
and the is. You can change them all. Like, you don't get to say it is what it is. It's kind of like, reminds me of saying, like, it's in God's hands now. Like, you've done all you can do. You've exhausted all your avenues. You've opened and closed every door. All the windows have been opened and closed. And so you're like, I've done everything. Lay it on the ground. It is what it is. It's in God's hands now. Like, you're the head coach. You hold all the cards to change all of that. So it just, and you know, like, we're Raider Nation. We're kind of fragile right now. We're like hanging by a string. And this like pragmatic delivery that he has is like, it's disconnected and it's disingenuous and it feels really like, it's flat. Like, and listen, we've been in this toxic hellscape for what feels like eternity. So if sprinkle a little toxicity in there, like, you know, step us off easy. Don't like make us go cold turkey from the toxicity, because the pragmatic delivery, I don't mind it, but it just feels a little like, I don't know. Just delete "it is what it is" from your vocabulary. Please, for the love, do us all a favor.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Good job, Michelle.
I'm just really, that's got me fired up.
This is Raiders Fan Radio. I'm Brent Musburger, and I don't care who wins as long as it's the Raiders.
All right, we appreciate everybody in the chat room tonight. Tida Raider is in there. Stacy Ruff is in there. Daniel Mangus is in there. Paul Edgerton, Hooligan Nation. Aaron Q-Dog Raider's in there with a 1911 donation. Says, "Greetings, Nation. Respect for DeBruz's anniversary, November 17th, 1911. We appreciate that donation to the One Nation Foundation. Appreciate, again, Paul. Raphael's in there. Stacy Ruff Raider. Bam Raider. What's up, Bam? Hey, we're getting ready to talk about you.
Oh,
All right,
nice.
Yeah, so, okay, so here at the top of the show, we like to do a little bit of respect.
Sure.
You know, we don't do props, we don't do shout-outs. There's nothing wrong with those things. But, you know, we're Italian. We like to give respect.
Murph, Swaggy J, Nation, it's time for a little respect. You know, respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Let's get some respect, man. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
Yes.
If you could only see how much fun we had with that thing before we started the show.
About 7 minutes before we hit the button to go on the YouTube. Yeah, it was all this all the time.
All we did was just play with the high pitch and how it makes you sound like a stoner.
Because, you know, man, look at all these colors. Have you ever looked at your thumb, man? It's so damn stupid. Oh, my gosh. We just lost 13 followers.
Oh my God. Listen, if you can't laugh right now and in this season, then I don't know what to tell you. Hey, do the math on that. All right.
That's right.
Anyway, so here we go. Erica S says we need something to laugh about at this point.
Amen.
Amen, Erica. We appreciate you. So first off, I want to give respect to the guys at Silver and Black today, and of course Evan and Mo, but mainly Scott.
Yes.
We appreciate you, Scott Gilbranson, so very, very much. We appreciate the platform that you give us here. We certainly noticed a tick up in everything that we do, from subscribers to, Twitter interactions and followers and all that kind of stuff. But most importantly, the donations that we've been able to generate for the One Nation Foundation have gone up because of the extra attention that we've gotten from that platform. So we appreciate you very, very much. And so, he gives me a spot on that show every week as the voice of the fan, which I'm so appreciative of. But like when we were in Tennessee, Jeff was able to jump on there with me. But then this week,
and I was just drunk and mad.
Yeah. But this week, I told Scott, I'm like, yeah. Before we started, I was like, because I had a house full of people that day, Michelle. You were here, your family, and we had a whole bunch of people. And I said, yeah, it's just down to me and Jeff just kind of sitting here and sad sacking. And he was like, he goes, well, if you could put them on camera, put them on. So I did. So we flipped the cameras on, and Swag Jeff was able to join me and Scott. And it was just us for the whole show.
Yeah,
it was just you, me, and Scott, and had a blast.
Fun.
It was great. And you did great on it. And I can't thank Scott enough because, a lot of times those legacy media, and we've talked about this recently when I went on my little tirade about it, but like legacy media, for whatever reason, whether they're threatened or they don't think that we're credible or we're trying to be something that we're not, a lot of those folks really don't give a voice to people like us. And so for Scott to be so like just open and willing and on a whim to just be like, yeah, bring Swag in too. Yeah. Like that was just so cool, I thought.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, it's super easy right now and it's low-hanging fruit to just shit on the team and all that. And we did our little bit of fair share of that, because it's warranted,
sure.
The team sucks.
Yeah,
but, instead of just, keep, hitting them while they're down and curb stomping them and all that stuff, why not just laugh and have fun, man? Because, at the end of the day, it matters to those people that are on the team and stuff like that. And it matters to us. I want the Raiders to win every single week, but it doesn't affect like who I am as a person and my, maybe a little bit on a Sunday.
Right.
I'll be freaking fired up and
Yeah.
pissed and go lock myself in a room or the bathroom or something like that. But, I don't know. Yeah. So, but it was fun. All that being said, it was really fun to just be able to laugh, even those moments right after it where it's serious, but let's laugh about it and just move on.
Laugh about it, move on.
It is what it is. It is what it is. We can say that.
We can say it. See, because here's the thing, and I'm a bit of the.
Her head's about to go. Go through the roof.
No, because Lamont calls me the tone police because, and this is my phrase. It's not what you say; it's how you say it. So that, you're right. On our level, it is what it is because we don't have any freaking control. There it was. Sorry, guys.
Amen. Yep.
But so yeah, I give you permission, both of you. You can say it is what it is.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Chad, I love you as well. You can.
But you know what though? But seriously, but I love what like how you put that about McDaniels, because one of my favorite quotes, and I hope I don't butcher. I usually have it sitting right over here by my desk. It's by Maya Angelou, and it's. People don't always remember what you said, but they remember how what you said made them feel.
Yeah.
And like, that's such a big deal. And I think that then that's when I usually will call it like optics or whatever, but like coming away from press conferences from McDaniels or from Ziegler, or whatever, how does it make us feel as fans? And like, I want to feel encouraged.
Right.
Like part of your job as the leader of these organizations are to give us, it's almost like, and not to get all crazy dramatic about it, but it's almost like a president that delivers like a State of the Union address. You want to come away from that feeling good about what's going on. You don't want to feel like you've gotten browbeat or like you don't know what the hell's happening or whatever. So it's the same thing when we hear Ziegler and McDaniels in a press conference. Don't come off with like, oh, I'm not so sure. Well, damn it, you should be. Like, you know what I mean? And it doesn't always have to be pretty. Like, you don't have to put lipstick on the pig, but you ought to know what the hell's going on. Like, that's the part.
Well, that's the thing, because like it is what it is. Every time he says it, my eye twitches and my brain translates it. My brain does a translation and says, we don't fucking know what we're doing.
Right.
That's what we don't know what we're doing. We don't know where we're going. That's what it sounds like when it comes out of his mouth. It's like, we don't have the answers. That's what it feels like. He's saying. We don't have the answers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather them say, we're headed in the right direction. Like, at least say that. Maybe
we have our plan. It's not come off it's not clearly. It hasn't happened the way that we've wanted it to, or what?
That just sounds like I don't know what we're doing.
It's dismissive.
Well, and were you talking about what he said in the Monday presser about what Derek Carr was referring to during his thing? Is that what you were talking about? And we'll talk about a little bit,
of it. But go ahead.
But like it really rubbed me the wrong way when Josh and I'm really trying hard to give Josh the benefit of the doubt. You know, because yes, as Mark Davis coined, Rome wasn't built in a day. Wasn't tore down either in a day.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems a little more that way
tore down
than
in
the
8
opposite.
weeks.
Yeah. But you know, but when the first question, obviously, because Derek was very emotional in his thing, and we'll get to that. But I can't remember who asked it, but said, "Hey, so Derek was pretty emotional. What are your thoughts? Do you know who he was referring to of maybe people that aren't giving their all or whatever?" And he goes, "I don't know. You'll have to ask him about who he was talking about." Like, bro, like you're in the locker room.
Tap in, my guy.
You're the guy. Like, okay, you give your leadership powers to whoever it is that's wearing the C on their chest, but you're the captain of the captains. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you better know what the hell he's talking about.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
Your special weeks at practice, you should be knowing who's giving 100% and who's giving about 60 and who loves this team and who doesn't. Yeah. So that way, when you're building Rome, why don't you get the faulty bricks out of there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go, Jeff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, absolutely.
Good job, Jeff. Good job. All right, we're gonna play more to talk about this too coming
let's
up.
We've got respect.
We're back to the top of the show and then respect around here. All right. So, okay, another guy we want to give respect to. He's in the chat room in there tonight, along with Mark Ontiveros is in there, Ron the Materator, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Paul, Pineapple, so many of our good friends. I want to give respect to CPA Joel.
Yeah.
CPA Joel, man.
1,000,000%.
CPA Joel
Infinity%.
He is coming through with the big time for us, and more importantly, when I say us, I mean the One Nation Foundation. So Jeff's over there. We've got Joel ordered up these cards for us for the One Nation Foundation. It's got a QR code in there. We're gonna hand it out at tailgates and different events that we're at. We're gonna hand out a bunch of them in December when we're out there for the Blitnikoff Foundation. Basically, they're cards with our name on it and everything, and it's got this QR code. You can scan it and take you to a donate page for the One Nation Foundation. But not only do I respect him for that, and there's been a whole bunch of stuff you're going to see from us in terms of like the innovation that's going to come out of the One Nation Foundation, the direction we're taking it in 2023. But also, Joel had the idea to form a booster club, and so we have been approached numerous times over the years about having some form of a booster club of our own. And we never did it for a couple of different reasons. Is that number one, we didn't have the bandwidth to do it. Our bandwidth is taken up by doing this show, and then now the One Nation Foundation, we didn't have time to do it. And then also, I want to give respect to tonight to Bam Raider from Music City Raider Nation, because we love our friends at Music City Raider Nation.
Absolutely we do.
We've got an already established great booster club here, so we never wanted to like interfere or step on their toes. And so Jeff and I went and had lunch with Bam this week and kind of talked to him about our idea and what Joel is going to do with that fundraising efforts, because our booster thing, all it's going to do is feed the One Nation Foundation. That's the only purpose of this thing, other than, of course, obviously, commiserating with Raider Nation, but most importantly is to raise money for the foundation. So we talked to Bam about it, got his blessing on it, which we appreciated so very, very much. So it's going to be a collaborative effort where you look forward to our two things and our two entities complementing each other. But Joel's going to take that thing over. So Joel's going to handle all of our stuff. We're going to call it Silver and Black Tennessee.
Yes.
And we're going to,
Let's go.
It's going to be all over
That's
the.
the first time you've heard that.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I'm
first-
sorry,
yeah,
I tell you.
yeah, that's
so we can
fantastic.
call it SNBTN, SNB Tennessee. We can do all kinds of fun naming things with it.
And we have a billion different logo ideas and shirts.
And
so if
shirts
you're a
and all
swag guy like me, like my closet's fixing to be full,
Oh,
bro.
listen.
Absolutely. And just know this too. So, and the reason that I'm announcing it here on the show too, because I know it's a little bit self-referential, being that it's here in our state. But just like Uncle Mosh is part of the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole,
Right.
I'm part of Silver and Black UK. Just because you're in another part of the country, don't feel like you can't be part of what we're doing at Silver and Black Tennessee. And I can assure you this, and here's the coolest thing. We're going to have, hey, look, let me switch to the camera to my best friend and yours. The guy's name is Swag Jeff.
I mean,
The box of swag that we're going to put together for our members,
It's going to be elite.
it's going to be
Elite.
absolutely legit.
Unbelievable.
It's going to be legit. And so
I wonder how many times I can join.
that was going to
I'm
be
gonna be
my
getting
question.
all them swag
That
boxes,
I was
bruh.
gonna
So
ask.
you're gonna with your
Yeah.
membership, it's not just about being a member. It's gonna be we're gonna hook you up with some sweet gear
Yes.
as a result of you becoming a member. So definitely stay tuned. Definitely, we've got nothing formal yet other than our ideas. But Joel is now joining us as a board member on the One Nation for the One Nation Foundation. So he's become as official as you can get around here. He's going to join us next month. He and his brother Aaron are going to join us at the Blitnikoff Foundation dinner where we present the check. So Joel's going to become part of this the immediate circle here, man, and part of this Raiders Fan Radio family, and most importantly, though, the One Nation Foundation family. And so just much respect to him, much respect to Bam, and look forward to working with those guys and seeing what we could do from a fundraising perspective for both those groups.
Patrick Claybon with NFL Network here. Hey folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murph, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
I love what Paul says in the chat. He goes, Silver and Black Tennessee, Shropshire chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Let's go.
Oh, I missed that. I need to highlight that on the thing.
Well, he just put it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh,
Yeah, you're
there you
good.
go.
There it is.
There it is. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, because I mean, seriously, like, and I love, there's so many good booster clubs and fan clubs and all.
Yes.
Again, we're partial to Music City because it's right here. But Silver and Black UK, like, I think for whatever we're going to do, there's a reason that we decided on Silver and Black Tennessee.
Right.
Like, they freaking, like, their merch boxes and stuff that they pull, they send out
Unbelievable.
cards that look like Allegiant Stadium, like all the, like, playing
Yeah.
cards. Like,
Yeah, and that patch you got behind you right there is so cool.
which one? The little pennant?
Yeah, oh yeah, the pennant
little
and all that
pennant?
stuff, and you got the London patch.
Oh,
over
yeah, the
there.
London plat-
I mean,
yeah.
just their logo in general is freaking badass.
Yeah, fantastic. Arizona Raider Nation, which you also see behind me there, that's our buddy Jay. Like,
Yep.
they have a great, there's so many great clubs. Like, I'm not ranking them by any means, but I'm just saying that we're going to look at the ones that, do it best. And we're going to model what we do after that. And so much respect to all those folks and to all the booster clubs out there. Hey, if you're getting together in the name of Raider Nation and you're doing things, and this is and I'm going to say this one more thing and I'm going to shut up. One of my favorite things, one of the things that first Sonny and I learned when we started doing Raiders Fan Radio, because for those of you that don't know or haven't been around for the entirety of this thing, one of the ways that we built our audience was that we reached out to the different fan club presidents and had them on the show. That's why Chuck Splatterhead McCann became one of our instant close friends through the show, was because he's the president of the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole. And we had the folks from Houston, we had the folks from Virginia, we've had the folks from Arizona, you name it. We've had so many Booster Club presidents on, and then that way it kind of gave us a voice to their folks that were in their group. Okay, so that's so we reached out to. So we had all these folks. Well, in interviewing all these people, what we learned was that all of them have a charitable component, and like a lot of other fan clubs get together and we'll eat chicken wings and drink beers on Sunday, whatever, watch the Packers, and then go home. Our folks are not doing that. They're marching in, and I say our folks, I mean like the collective of these fan clubs. They're marching in parades, raising money. They're doing highway cleanup. They're doing angel trees.
Yeah.
They're raising money for
They're
youth football organizations.
Working concession stands at sporting events. Bam was telling us about that.
Yes.
So and we'll probably do that
probably
at some
do
point
something
as well.
like that. Yeah. So like there's this huge charitable component. So that's why we wanted to do this, because we know that then that charity can be our charity, which is the One Nation Foundation. So that's what separates one of the things Raider Nation so differently from other fan groups and other sports. And I'm going to say one more last thing. I'm sorry, I'm wordy tonight, guys. These are the things that we have to lock into as fans.
Yes,
Talk about it, Michelle. You know what I'm getting ready to say.
Well, I mean, because we're all hanging by a string here, if we're being honest, right? I mean, there's not a whole lot to celebrate as far as the team goes, but Raider Nation, like you're saying, all of the groups and all the ways that they make money, and also just the camaraderie, getting together to even watch the Raiders lose, I twitch, is, still is fulfilling. And so that's, I think, the thing that you have to really hold on to is to just remember that, one, there are bigger things than the Raiders. And on Sundays, that's hard to see past. But, seeing all of the charitable organizations just really adds a perspective to how we let it affect how we feel. I mean, I'm down for Sunday, probably Sunday to Tuesday. Give me some time.
Yeah.
And then I wake up Wednesday morning and I'm like, you know what? It's bigger things. It's okay.
Absolutely.
I'm breathing. It's all good.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the reasons we pick Wednesday nights for this show.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We're like, that'll give us enough time to
Yes.
freaking come back to reality and put things in perspective. Much respect to, I hope I say this right, Gianluca Morelli. Yo, Murph, big respect from Italy. Raider Nation is strong here. Raiders Italia.
Nice.
Let's go. Let's go. Love that. It's probably Gianluca. I would say. I'd probably pronounce that better. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we appreciate you very, very much. Frank and NorCal is in there. Hey, Gomez, Chevy Silver Raider, Ron the Mater Raider, Stacy Ruff, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. We appreciate all of you so very, very much. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of the news stories. Let's I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna play this and just let it settle in on you.
But I was going into Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. Sad sack.
Where's the tissue?
It's really unfair. It's my team. It's my quarterback. Sad sack.
I'll be lying if I said that it didn't bother me.
Sad sack.
Sometimes emotions is what makes a person.
Sad sack.
Promised Mess I wouldn't do this. But, as I said, there comes a time when
Sad sack.
Oh, I just changed my shirt. My chicken!
Sad sack. Complete me. Sad sack.
I love Josh. I love the car. I love our coaches.
Murph, you gotta do that.
They've had nothing but success, way more success than I've ever had, and I'm sorry.
Derek,
sorry.
Continue.
To finish that, sorry for being emotional. I'm just pissed off about some of the things, that a lot of us try and do just to practice what we put our bodies through just to sleep at night. And for that to be the result of all that effort pisses me off. Pisses a lot of guys off. It's hard knowing what some guys are doing. Like I said, just to practice what they're putting in their body just to sleep at night. Like just so we can be there for each other. And I wish everybody in that room felt the same way about this place. And as a leader, that pisses me off, if I'm being honest.
All right. Had a little fun with it there. Don't take it out of me, Raider Nation. All right.
No one's mad at you about it.
All right.
Can I?
Please
start.
Lead us.
So as soon as I saw saw that and heard that, I knew that people were gonna like be stupid, like say some dumb shit because. Okay, Derek Carr's been there for 9 years. Like, I don't know who else has been there for
Nobody.
Nobody, right? So he, of anybody, understands what the Raiders were. Like, not saying that people that have come in don't understand, but like, I think PSP Raider said that was what'd she say? It was not an angry cry, it was a pity seeking. I think that's no offense to PSP, but I think he was so fucking frustrated. Sorry, I won't do it again.
Okay.
I'm sorry. He's so to the point of being done, and apparently there's some things going on, like where they're seeing things. Like I think you get to a point where, also too, okay, I had a therapist once tell me, because I always like, why do I cry when I'm angry? And she said that it can be a sign of grief, and I think he's grieving that he's done. This is it for him.
I think that is an amazing analysis,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Done with that game. You know you've lost. And I know Rich Gannon, and I agree with what Rich Gannon said, but Derek Carr did put that team on his back and got them to the end zone. Foster Moreau dropped a ball that was right in his hands. So, and now I'm not saying he couldn't have done it again. He could have done it again, but he did get them down there. Foster catches the ball. Game is a win. But I think he's grieving the end, and it's an ugly end. Like, it wasn't even a redemptive end. So, like, when my dad died, there was a grief that he didn't get to live the life that he lived, which I know that's not the same thing. But, like, he's grieving the fact that he didn't get to do what he had set out to do. So, man, there's nothing wrong with crying. Like, and for a man to cry, good for him. That's passion. I don't care what anybody says. No one's going to sway me in the chat. I don't give a shit. I think that's okay that he did that. He's coming off that loss with no time to process it, knowing he's done probably. Let him sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Let him cry, man.
Michelle, I think that's incredibly well put. And I don't want to just repeat the things you said, but my thoughts on it were very, very similar. I feel that it's the weight that wasn't
heavy.
Those tears were not about the indie game.
Right.
That was not about that. That was 9 years, as you're saying. Like that was, and that realization that with that 9-year career for this team that he desperately loves,
right.
That's what was coming out. And so, look, I'm with you. Like, I knew what the optics were going to be immediately.
Right.
And he's going to hear about it
right.
on field, off the field, and otherwise. And ultimately, that's going to be a high level of criticism
right.
for him and his career. But I do understand that take too. That look, dude, you're kind of setting yourself up for a lot of and I get that, but at the same time, people process and deliver emotion in different ways. I don't care who you are in the NFL, like quarterback. Mm-hmm. If the story of Derek Carr's career was your story, you'd be upset.
Yes.
Now, how that manifests in your press conference, are you kicking over the podium and knocking over Gatorade tubs and doing whatever? That's one way to show it. The other way to show it is to have tears. The other way to show it is to shut down. The other way to do it is to quit. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you could do this. I'm appreciative of the idea that, look, it manifests in Derek in this way. He's invested. That's what I care about as a fan.
Right.
Are you invested? Are you doing everything that you possibly can to get as you hear him in that clip, to get yourself ready for the game? That's all that I care about. How you exude your emotion is much less of importance to me as a fan. Now, that said, if there is any, hey, feel sorry for us, the ones that are putting our bodies through this, listen, man, our buddy Wyoming Raider is working in a freaking mine every day.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's putting his body through stuff too, so he can, get up and feed his family. So, ain't nobody feeling sorry for Derek for putting your body through. Every NFL player does that. So that part, if that was an attempt to garner some sympathy or whatever, I'm not really with that. But in terms of the emotion of it, I thought it's fine. Look, again, I'd rather have that than somebody that just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I agree with everything that both of you guys said. I think what really resonates with me, and I think where I think most of the tears came from, like what Michelle said, I think he just knows that his time is about done. You know, he knows that he took a team-friendly deal, and he knows that the team is going to save a shitload of money by cutting his ass at the end of the year. And, but he loves this team so much.
Which could
he
be to a fault.
I was just going to say that. I think that might be to a fault.
That's
because sometimes I look at Aaron Rodgers and see how he's just like, whatever. A lot of times when they lose, and I'm not saying, he has not Aaron Rodgers,
but he doesn't have the personal investment
that's right,
that Derek does.
Because you're exactly right that that's kind of the hill that he's dying on.
Yeah.
Because he's come out multiple times and said, I'm a Raider or I'm a pastor or or whatever, or I'm an analyst or I'm whatever. I'm not gonna play for another football team. So so him saying all those things, and then I think kind of knowing that this story as the Raiders quarterback is coming to a close. Yeah. He knows that his time in the NFL is going to be over.
Right. And he also knows that it's probably not going to be a very good ending.
It's not poetic
Darren
in
Waller's
any way.
on injured reserve. Hunter Renfro's gone.
He's
literally, he doesn't have
he's
an
not walking
O-line.
off like Peyton Manning or something winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's going to be a limp off of the field.
Absolutely.
Not to mention the fact that the Raiders, he's been pulling for the Raiders to sign his best friend in the entire world for years and years and years. And I'll buy you a car. I'll buy you a house. I'll buy you a plane. I'll buy you whatever. And so Mark Davis says, fine, I'll buy him for $140 million. And now he's going to have one half-ass season with him. And I wouldn't even call it half-assed.
No.
They've had some good connections, and that's been fun. They may as well have just done it in the backyard, because of the product on the field. But, so he had all these pieces. He had all the pieces together for it to be a poetic ending.
Right.
It was all here together.
It's a great call.
That he had all the things line up in just the right way. You get this amazing offensive-minded coach.
Right.
You bring in your best friend in the entire world. You re-sign all your pieces. You go and get a guy like Chandler Jones. You go and get all these things to improve the defense, because we've always said if you have a middle-of-the-pack defense, Derek thrives.
Right.
He will thrive. Yeah. And then to see all of it start crumbling away piece by piece.
Smoke.
Oh, Darren Waller's hamstring. Oh, Hunter Renfro's concussion. Yeah. Oh, Chandler Jones sucks ass. Yeah. All this stuff happens, and all that, and it's just I'm heartbroken for the guy, because
it's a horrid ending.
People can talk shit about Derek Carr all they want, and I've done a lot of it. For the last two seasons, I wore an 8.
That's right.
And,
you were trying to get rid of him. Yeah,
I was trying to get rid of his ass. But but I just I don't know, man. It's just I'm heartbroken because he plays for the team, so his passion exceeds any Raider fan probably. But as a fan, I'm really passionate too, and I can respect somebody that has that same level of passion that's playing for that team.
Right.
Because a lot of and a lot of our guys do that, and I'm ranting and raving, sorry.
No,
but
True.
but
it's their job.
They're
doing their job.
Right.
And they might love the sport and all that kind of stuff, but they didn't grow up like when we talked to, I'll use Will as the example.
Right.
Will grew up in Missouri in the middle of nowhere. He's not a Raider fan, but he loves ball. And he loved being part of the Raiders. But if, Rich Bisaccia gives him a call to go be a Packer, he'll love being a Packer too.
Sure.
Because that's his job. That's what he does. But so Derek has a different level of investment in the team because he grew up a Raider fan and literally took on the responsibility of the team's success and how that looks to Raider Nation. Right. And so I think Michelle, you said something really, really clutch right there about that it's to a fault, because I think he assigns himself so much that he's unable to live up to those expectations. Yes. And when you look at what happened in this offseason, and I'm going to transition into a little bit different of a topic here for us, but along the same lines. Everything was set up. Going back to McDaniels a little bit, they set Derek up to have a Super Bowl run. An AFC run at a minimum. They did a lot to address the defense. Yeah, you could say that they didn't do enough, but you look at what we did. They made moves, defensively. Enough to get us to the middle of the pack at a minimum, right? And not dead last like we are again this year. Right? We thought. So everything is set up for Derek. Now, and it was just a win now season. Everybody had that expectation, fans, media, the team, everybody otherwise. But now the messaging is changing. You notice that? Mm-hmm. Now the Raiders are, as the kids say, moving the goalposts on us.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
It drives me nuts. And now it's like, Oh, well, we need to get our guys in the building. Oh, well, now we need time to install our scheme. Oh, we need time in the draft. Do you need time in the draft? Well, then why did you trade away your top draft picks for Devontae Adams?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. So those messages are starting to change. So like, while I get Rome wasn't built in a day, and I understand that whole idea, and I understand why Mark Davis is committed to Josh McDaniels for 4 years. I understand all those things, but that's a different narrative now when you've lost 7 games than when you were undefeated in the preseason.
Right.
Undefeated in the preseason.
You're spinning the narrative to make it work for
Work
now.
for you, which is and that part I really it is bullshit. I don't care for that part at all, because we're not stupid, and that's the thing, is that, like I say all the time on this show and otherwise, like, we as Raider fans, like, we may be passionate and we may lead with our hearts and we may try to find things that don't exist and whatever, but at the end of the day, we're not stupid, and we know what we see, and like, our expectations might be unrealistic at times, but what we see on game day, those, like, we see it. So acknowledge what that is and don't try to like move that around. Tyrone Gray's in there. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Derek should have been.
Ebony had one too.
Okay, and I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, Derek should have been snapping like Dennis Green versus the Bears. I think this is how Derek Carr snaps.
Right.
I think just like you hear, and I played the sad sack thing, and it's kind of jokey, but like, you hear Allen Iverson in there. You hear, of course, T.O. in there. You hear Wayne Gretzky in there. You hear some of the greatest athletes in their respective sports in there crying, okay? LaDainian Tomlinson, as much as we hate him, that's another one that's in there. That's how that manifested in them. Dennis Green manifests through outburst,
Well, and maybe
Herm
some
Edwards.
men see anger as a weakness, and so they don't burst out with anger. I mean, it could go both ways.
It could go both ways, but but again, it's the investment. That's what I care about, is that if Derek went up there and was like, yeah, man, just, rough day. Okay, let's, hey, anybody want to ask about the Broncos? I'd be like, what? Wait a minute. No, like, let's dig in. And that's his way of digging in.
Yeah,
So
I'd much rather have Derek do what he did, frankly, than Josh McDaniels doing this.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
When you see all the still shots of him doing this, like, I ain't with that shit.
Right.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and last week we wanted Derek to give more information. We wanted everybody
now
was
we
like,
got it.
You got it. You didn't get it in the delivery they want, but you don't get to tell people how to deliver how they feel.
Right.
You just have to take how they feel and ingest it. Like, you don't get to tell them how to do it.
Absolutely. You're right. That's a great call out, too. He gave us exactly what we wanted to hear. I cried when Miss Ebony Graves, $10 donation. Thank you, Miss Ebony. I cried when my boss pissed me off because I wanted to fight him, but I couldn't because I would have lost my retirement. But I had to let my anger out or lose my retirement. Yeah, like I said, a manifest. But there you go. It's a different example of investment, and that's all that we're looking for, is just for the team to be invested. And right now, there are some that are, and there are some that aren't. And don't you know, they're going to weed out the undesirables. Let me say one last thing too before we move on to the actually, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead. I'm going to play an audio clip. Let's check in with Rich Gannon, and then I'm going to give you some thoughts on leadership here in a minute.
Jeff Saturday and the Indianapolis Colts roll into town and find a way to get a win 25-20. And if you look at this game, this is really a microcosm of really what's happened the entire season for the Las Vegas Raiders. Their inability to win close games. When you look at the amount of money that this team has committed to their big players offensively, $340 million in contracts to Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfrow. Now, they just put Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow on an injured reserve. Both those players have missed significant time this season, particularly the tight end Darren Waller. And that has had a huge impact on Carr's ability with ball distribution. Defensively, this is a defense a lot like last year that can't get to the quarterback and can't take the ball away. They went out and spent a lot of money on Chandler Jones. He has yet to have a sack this season. The only player that you can really count on in the Raiders defense is Max Crosby. He gives you everything he has every single snap. But when you look at the other players, you just don't see that same effort, that same enthusiasm, that same intensity. And finally, let me just pay off what's going on with the Raiders offense as it relates to Derek Carr. Derek hasn't played horribly, but he really hasn't played well, especially late in games. At some point, he has to step up and play better. So I think there's enough tools in the toolbox to get it done. And Derek Carr hasn't, especially when they needed him the most late in games. If you look at his one-loss record, 59-77, that really says it all. Derek Carr has to find a way to put this team on his shoulders and get them to the finish line.
All right, there we go. So there's the 2002 MVP, Rich Gannon, with his thoughts on the Raiders. And, he talks a lot in there about the Raiders defense. And, listen, here we go. Keep the sad sack spirit up here. Raiders defense this season, opposing quarterback QBR, ranked 32nd in the league. Goal-to-go percentage, 32nd in the league. Opponent's completion percentage, 32nd in the league. Takeaways, 32nd in the league. Sack percentage. This will be easier if I just read you all the ones that are 32nd in the league. Sack percentage and sacks, 32nd in the league. 31st in the league. Opponent's touchdown to interception ratio. Opponent's points per drive. Opponent's points per play. Defensive efficiency and red zone percentage. Ranked 30th in the league. Third down percentage, yards per play, and opposing yards per drive. And to finish it off, your NFL rank on defense for points per game, 28th. Listen, how that relates to Derek Carr, exactly what we've said for 9 years now. Give him a middle-of-the-pack defense and see what the Raiders can do. I'm not excusing Derek's 0 for 9 now on potential game-winning or tying drives this year. I'm not excusing any of that. And Jeff and I talked about this on Silver and Black today. When we're talking about the defense or anything else that's not Derek Carr, we're not absolving Derek Carr from responsibility.
Totally.
It just happens to be the topic for this segment at the moment, right? So this is not me absolving Josh McDaniels' play calling. This is not me absolving Derek Carr getting happy feet or overthrowing players. That's not that. This is not me pretending that those things don't exist. That said, I will tell you this. In Derek Carr's career, his defensive ranks for every season. In 2014, we were 32nd in the league. In 2015, we were 22nd in the league. In 2016, we were 20th. Holy shit, with a 20th ranked defense, we got to the playoffs. 2017, and then, of course, the locker room falling apart, we were 20th in the league. Then here we go back down again. 2018, 32nd. 2019, 24th. 2020, we were 30th. 2021, we were 26th. And this year, in illustrious 2022, we have the 27th ranked defense. Now, again, are we absolving Derek Carr from his responsibilities? No, but you can't tell me in any freaking sound mind that if any one of these are 15 or more, that our team isn't better and Derek Carr's record isn't better. So you know what I'm saying? That's a ridiculous notion to me that people can't freaking draw those lines together and do the math. My gosh. The 2022 Raiders, I'm getting fired up. All red in the face. 2022 Raiders are the first team to have 10 sacks or less, 10 or less sacks and 6 or less takeaways in the first 9 games of an NFL season in the history of the league. Lane Kiffin was fired. Well, then we go back to the coaches here. Lane Kiffin was fired with cause for bringing disgrace to the organization. His record was 5-15, the same winning percentage as Josh McDaniels. Oh God. Okay. So, gosh, I don't know. I don't even know where I want to go with all this stuff. I'll tell you this. I'll just say this, and then I'm gonna hit a break, Jeff, and I want to talk about leadership. The Raiders win out. We're 2-7.
Woo!
Okay. If we win out and go 10-7, the Raiders have a 95% chance of making the playoffs. Let's go!
Let's go! We're going to the playoffs!
You're listening to The Violator, and I'm live on Raiders Fan Radio. Where you at, baby?
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Franklin 83 in the chat says smoking that hopium.
Nice.
I love it. All right. Joel says if they win out, I will legally change my 1-year-old's name to DC.
There you go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So our good friend Ron the Materator this week in one of our group chats asked about leadership. And he asked me, he was very kind to ask me about my opinion on leadership. For those of you that don't know, and this is not self-gloss, it's just it's an area of study that I'm passionate about, and that's what my degree is in. And I love studying leadership of organizations and institutions, whether that be, a business enterprise, whether that be a church, whether that be a school, in this case, a football team. So it's fascinating to me, it could be governmental, like anytime that you have leaders, and I would say this, there are commonalities between great leaders. So when you look at, if you were to study great leaders, you could study, the pastor of a church, a great pastor of a church, a great president, a tribal leader, a bank president. You could look at all these different entities and institutions. You'll find that there are certain commonalities between those leaders. And so when Ron asked me that question about whether it was with Derek or in this case with Josh McDaniels, or we can talk about them both collectively because it doesn't matter. Because again, there's these shared qualities that all great leaders have, and they're actually attainable qualities. Like we think about leaders as being born charismatic and there are certain people like, Obama who's a brilliant orator and people that carry themselves. Sure, those things are innate abilities. But in terms of like what you can do as a leader of an organization, you can actually learn this stuff and you can input these things in play. So he asked me about that. Here's ultimately where I think. When it comes to Derek, locker room leadership is a little bit different than leading an organization like Dave Ziegler, Mark Davis, and Josh McDaniels. Locker room leadership is all about unity. Like you got to be pulling the same rope, right? You've all got to be working in the same direction. There's a vision that has been crafted and then implemented into the locker room. It's up to the leaders. It's up to Derek Carr to drive that vision, to share that vision with those that struggle to grasp it. It's all about communication and example. That's where, like, you look at like an Eli Manning. Eli Manning was a great leader. The optics of it, and he was criticized all the time by fans, was that he needs to be more fiery. He needs to be more this. But that's not what his leadership style was. His leadership style was example, because that is the leader as a quarterback. You've got to lead by example. So work ethic, right? Like time in the building. We hear Derek talk about that stuff. First in, last out, all those kinds of things. Staying in your playbook, watching your film. Those are the things that you can do. And then make sure that the ones that are around you are doing the same thing. So that's leadership in the locker room. At the top of the organization, though, when we look at Josh, leadership is all about making more leaders. That's what makes you great. Can you lift up those around you and enable their own successes? That's what drives greatness. Well, we're too far out still. We don't know. We don't know if I keep wanting to call him Lane Kiffin for some reason. We don't know if Josh McDaniels is that guy because we haven't given him enough runway yet. That's what Mark Davis was talking about this week. And when you read the Las Vegas Review Journal, when Mark Davis was asked about is Kiffin the long-term answer at head coach, did he think that would be? And he said, well, why wouldn't I? Like, there's a reason I signed him to a 4-year deal. I'm going to give him that 4 years to find out, because you don't find out in 7 games. Now, where we as fans get frustrated is that we look at other teams around the league. We look at Brian Daboll and the Giants. We look at Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins. We look at the Vikings. We look at like a lot of other teams around the league that flip their seasons around. The Vikings were terrible last year. The Vikings weren't winning close games last year. Now they are, right? And so we look at that as fans and we're like, well, why can't we have that? I wish we did right now, but we don't. And the bottom line is that we'll tell you, in terms of leadership, you have to wait and see. You have to let the thing evolve. That's why presidents get 4-year terms, because you ain't flipping a country around in one. It takes time to craft that vision, share it with your constituents, lift them up to their own successes, and then drive those things. So anyways, that's my take on it all. Please, yeah.
Yeah, well, and everything that you said is absolutely right. But I think the frustrating part with a lot of folks within Raider Nation, including myself, is, yes, those are the qualities. Josh McDaniels needs to be making more leaders. But when you don't know what the hell's going on in your locker room and you don't know who Derek's referring to and, hey, these guys need to step up, they're not getting it done. And if Josh goes, yeah, I don't know who he's talking about. You should know. You should be making more leaders, though.
Well, I agree. But see, now I think this is, and again, we can argue or debate tactic. But what I think this is is Josh trying to enable the locker room. When you look at what McDaniels was criticized for when he was at Denver, is that he came in there and tried to be Bill Belichick. He tried to go in there and tell everybody what to do. They had to dot every I, cross every T, and do it this exact way, do your job, the Patriot way, all that shit. And that when they didn't, and there was a revolt against him, he was left with nothing. Because
he was trying to give them the power.
He was micromanaging the hell out of every single little thing. Now you're exactly right, Michelle. Now he's trying to be like, I don't know, ask Derek.
Yeah.
You know what? I think, now again, the optics of that and how the message gets delivered, that's where maybe he needs some work as an orator and things like that.
Right.
But that concept about being like,
You're grown men. Let's men lead men. Like, I'm here, but let me give them the power. You know, you guys are the captains. But I think you're both right, because you're right. Like, you should know.
No, Michelle, I'm right.
Damn it.
Jeff's wrong.
Oh my gosh.
No, like,
this is Murph Fan Cave.
That's true.
Where if all else fails, Murph is right.
No, like you're right, because he sounded like, to me when I heard it, and you know, I talked about his delivery is very pragmatic, and I'm not gonna lie, I listened to him today. Was it today press conference, or I don't know, whatever the latest one, and there were a lot of really good things he said, but I had to get past the way he was saying it. And that is where I think everyone needs to, because I'm not a fire McDaniels person. Like, don't shoot me in the chat. Like, because I do think you're right. There needs to be a level of time. The Raiders have been toxic for so damn long. It's like being in a toxic relationship and you finally get out with somebody who might have a freaking inkling of how to live life without, you know, being ridiculous. And you are like, you're doing it wrong. Like, this is so wrong. This doesn't feel right, because it's good.
Right.
And, you know, like, maybe, and I'm not saying that McDaniels is doing everything right, because he doesn't have a delivery that I'm comfortable with, but maybe check how we're policing how he's saying it, and maybe try to hear what he's saying. Because he was saying a lot of things today where I was like, oh, damn, that was... Well, I think he might be right about that.
Yeah.
You kind of have to get past, but yeah, I think that was kind of shitty what he did, because it almost like he was like, well, I don't think there's anything wrong. You have to ask Derek about that, because I don't know what that is, you know, and that just kind of was weird.
And I think with Raider fans too, I think the thing that makes it so unbelievably frustrating is, like you said, we've been a freaking mess for how many years, minus a year or two here and there, you know. But then last year we did something, right? You know, despite all the bullshit, despite everything that happened, we lose Ruggs, we lose Gruden, we lose Arnett, we lose all these things, and despite every one of those things, we found a way to do it, and so we were like, oh.
Yeah.
Finally,
we're headed
you
there.
know, finally we, you know, exactly. Finally we get some success. We see what it's like to have a locker room that's together. We tasted success just a little bit.
The first one's always free.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
you just touch a little bit.
Exactly. And then we go into this off season and we add all these pieces. You know, we add McDaniels, we add Devontae, we add Chandler, we add Rock Ya-Sin, we add all these different things, and we're like, yes, it's finally coming together. And we shit the bed.
Yeah. But
and
you know
we
what?
shit the bed. And so it's like, as fans, we were just like, oh, are you serious? Like, we're doing this shit again?
Damn it.
Like, come on.
We were so close.
We were so damn close. What were you saying?
Well, I was going to say, if you isolated last season, though, God, y'all, please don't kill me. Don't cancel me in the chat. If you isolated last season, we still had major red zone issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we won those games, but, and I will say, I think that I know it's not whatever. They were riding off of serious emotion, and they wanted to carry each other. And so now there's a group of men that don't have that connection. You know, they took a lot away. And they added a lot. And now they have to create that connection. They don't have it. Like, so last season was great, and it felt great, and we all got to taste a little bit of that. But if you isolated that season, we were really not as good. Like, Daniel Carlson sealed a lot of those games, almost all the games, because we couldn't finish.
And we let the Chargers come all the way back in that last game. We were all so glad to be there and watch that live. It was amazing. But that almost got really ugly.
You almost have to just not delete it, because we've made some major changes. That's not who we are anymore. And I mean, Rich Bisaccia, I loved him. I thought he was great, but I mean, that doesn't mean we would have continued that.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it just is. I mean, well, now I guess we're just at a point where we have to frickin' suck it up and hope that McDaniels is the one.
Oh,
he ain't going anywhere.
Well, that's the thing, and that's where I always land on Raider Nation. Like, look, we can get on the microphones and we can squawk to each other and chat rooms or otherwise. At the end of the day, Mark Davis is going on your football team. Josh McDaniels is going to be your head coach, and for now, Derek Carr is going to be your quarterback. Right. You know what I mean? Unless they decide to bite the $5 million bullet in dead cat money. But so we'll see. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to some of the media comments this week. Swag Jeff, hit a break.
This is Kevin, the Raider nerd, live at the Oakland Raiders tailgate. Raiders! We got Gorilla. Say hey, got Uncle Mosh and Murph.
I love you guys. Much love from the black hole, baby. Just win.
All right, Swago, shout out the chat room there before we jump in this next segment.
Absolutely. Matthew Mangus, Pirate 1975, Stacy Ruff, Circus Raider, Raider Jack, Tyrone Graves, Vibrators in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raiders in there. Raider Loco, Pineapple's in there. Matthew Mangus, Paul's in there. Let's see who else we got in there. Stacy Ruff, Adam Hill, the whole crew, man.
I love it. Valerie Vibrator says they need some team building activities like basket weaving or touring Jack Daniels. Michelle says maybe some trust falls.
yeah, maybe.
That's so funny.
Maybe that'll do it.
Oh my gosh! All right, so let's check in with the Up and Adams show. So Kay Adams, our good friend of the
That's
show,
your good friend,
that used to host Good Morning Football. Of course, she's moved on to her own thing, and it's called Up and Adams, it's pretty good show. Mm-hmm. And she had Brandon Marshall on here, and Brandon Marshall's got some scathing comments, about the Raiders and the leadership that's going on there.
Daniels is your former head coach. The Raiders, they're at 2-6, and it's almost inexplicable, because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels is not suited to be a head coach. Is that fair?
Wow, he's not? Why isn't he? Look at all his experience. Look how many Super Bowls he won as an offensive coordinator, being in New England, having Tom Brady, helping Tom Brady out. Then getting a job in Denver in 2010 and losing. And sometimes, right, the second time around, you're better when you go through what you went through the first time, right? So he has all the experience in the world, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Maybe, just maybe, Kay, they should have went and got Jeff Saturday. But now he's gone.
Oh, boy.
Now he's gone. He's not coming back. Josh McDaniels is definitely not suited to be a head coach. Absolutely not.
Why?
Because of what I talked about when we were talking about Jeff Saturday. Because he doesn't know how to lead people. You can have all the X's and O's in the world, Kay, but when you go into a losing locker room, the first thing you have to do is be able to get to the players' mind and their hearts. And he's not capable of doing that. He's not capable of doing that with his players. He's not capable of doing that with his coaches. And when things hit the fan, it gets worse with guys like that. You have guys retiring mid-season. Think about that. Mm-hmm. That's horrible leadership. You want guys to rally around. You want guys to say, this is his first year back. I'm playing for him and his wife and his kids.
Right.
They're doing the opposite. They're saying, I'm shutting it down.
All right, so there's that meme that says "No lies detected" or whatever.
Yeah.
The only comment in there that I didn't agree with is I didn't care for when he said he walked into a losing locker room. I don't agree with that.
I don't
for everything
either.
that we just said. Like, if anything, this locker room was galvanized last year, and a lot of it was because of Casey Hayward, Yannick Ngakoue, Will Compton, freaking Alec Ingold. Like, you look at the players that were jettisoned from this roster, those were leaders. Those were glue guys, right? And so I think that, yes, those players were removed, but the players that they replaced, it's not like we replaced them with chumps. It's not like freaking Jakob Johnson's not a stud. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know about him as a leader or anything, where Alec Ingold, we definitely know he is. But anyways, point being, though, is that I don't think that there was the culture of losing around the Raiders last year. So I'm not with Brandon on that, but the rest of his comments seem to be, and like I say all the time, until given reason to believe otherwise or evidence to believe otherwise, we got to take all these criticisms as truths.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really argue with much of anything that he said there. You know, I mean, I hope he proves us wrong. And, you know,
I
think that's Mark Davis's plan, is that, yes, it's going to take time and we're going to see him blossom into a good coach and all that. But just right now, it's not there. And as Raider fans, we tend to get a little impatient sometimes, and that's okay. You know, we've gone through a lot.
Right.
You know, when is it going to finally be our freaking time?
That's right. Yeah.
And, you know, so it's totally warranted. But, you know, but you can't really argue with what Brandon said there.
No, like, and now that I've heard what he said, I take back everything I said about it. No, I'm just kidding. Because you know, but McDaniels is a little dead behind his eyes. Like, Bisaccia had such a caring, like, he just seemed
he was
like
your uncle,
genuinely wanted to win for these guys. McDaniels seems like a guy that just knows the equation, but he doesn't really care about, you know, like everybody getting involved in on it. He just seems not, I don't even know if it's an arrogance. I don't know what to call it, but he does seem kind of dead behind his eyes. Like he's just like going, and maybe he's shell shocked because we've shit the bed so bad.
That's
you know,
a good
so
point
he's
too.
like, well, shit, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I really thought this was going to be better season. And so this is all I got for you guys, you know? So maybe he's a little shell shocked because he should be. We're all
shell
like
shocked.
shell shocked.
Absolutely.
So I mean, but yeah, he does seem like, and he's. I guess they're gonna need time. I don't know. We don't have time. Raider Nation does not have time to give. So get it together.
Aaron the Q-Dog Raider in there says, wasn't Dolan Leavitt our ultimate glue guy? Yeah, I mean, jeez, Dolan Leavitt's actually having a pretty good year in Green Bay there, playing for Rich. All right, we're gonna jump to the last segment in here for the media because this is a long one. But I want to feature this thing before we jump into the Sea of Fans mailbag. So this is Captain Kirk. This is Kirk Morrison, literally the last great linebacker we've had. You know, I'm thinking about getting another 52 jersey just so I can get a Kirk. Kirk Morrison's awesome. I love this guy. And not only was he great as a player, but he is amazing as a guest host on Rich Eisen's show. And so let's check in with, this is a pretty good little run here. It's about a 4 or 5 minute rant from Kirk, but he's kind of given his take on the state of the Raiders. And this is some really good insight.
Josh McDaniels came into a situation of a team that had went to the playoffs. This was not a team that was considered broken or trying to get over the hump. This was a team that had a coach in Rich Bisaccia who was the interim coach. We all know what happened with John Gruden last season. That was a difficult situation for any coach. We know about what happened with Henry Ruggs on that team. Rich Bisaccia came in and basically not only did he right the ship, but he also got guys to play for each other. Yeah. He got guys to listen, got guys to do where everybody was saying what's going on with the team, pulling you different directions. He got everybody on the same page. They go to the playoffs, and maybe they're a couple plays away from beating the Cincinnati Bengals on the road, and who knows what would go from there. So when Josh McDaniels takes over the job, you're not getting immediate results. When you've also invested in Chandler Jones, you've invested in bringing over Devontae Adams, you've already got outstanding players in Max Crosby. I thought Derek Carr had shown that he is the quarterback that this franchise has been, wanting. He's playing at a high level. But what I'm seeing is a disconnect. But I think it's also now, it's a belief in themselves. There's no confidence. This is not a confident football team. You can watch and just say they're not confident in themselves. Now you can work hard and you can play hard, do all those things. And I've done that before. I've first person in, last person out. You can do all that. That's great. That's outstanding. You're doing your job. But there is a point when you go into a game and all of a sudden you've built that dam. That dam is built. And all of a sudden there's a little crack and you start to see a little water come out. And instead of everybody saying, hey, let's go patch it up together, you start to see it break a little more. And it's like, here we go again. The dam's about to break. And next thing you know, that's what's happened. The dam just continues to keep opening and opening, and boom, it's gone. And I'm seeing that from this football team. And that's the difficult part, is that obviously you don't have some players who are available to you, but you would expect more from a team that played in the playoffs a year ago, that you don't lose. They're 0-6 this year in these one-score games. Last year, I think they were 7-2 in one-score games. That shows you how close it is to win games in the NFL? Because you look at the Minnesota Vikings, they find a way to win those games this year. They very well easily could be in the Raiders situation, but they've won those games. So that's the hardest part for me, is where Josh McDaniels has to look his guys in the eye. And I know they are. I know they're working. But right now, there doesn't seem to be that juice, that energy. And I talked about a win-win for the trade when it came for Miami and Kansas City. It's almost been a lose-lose trade when it comes to Green Bay and the Raiders, right? The Packers and the Raiders trade. Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked the same since they let go of they traded away Devontae Adams. And the investment in Devontae Adams from the Raiders, he's gotten good yards and playing well, got cup touchdowns, but it hasn't resulted in the wins. So there's one trade that's a win-win. This one has been a lose-lose. Now, it's just for this season, because Aaron Rodgers, obviously, he's got receivers now that he's working with, and Christian Watson did have a big game. The rookie had 3 catches, who's supposed to be the guy to replace Devontae Adams. So there's a work in progress, but right now, both teams are hurting off of this.
Swag Jeff, thoughts?
That sucks. I hate it. I hate it,
the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
This is why we're not analysts.
Yeah.
This sucks.
It does.
Swag Jeff.
Yeah.
You can quote me on that.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's rough. Michelle, any thoughts?
I
there?
mean, yeah,
this sucks.
It does, because when somebody lays it out so like specifically and honestly, it really stings. I mean, because you can't say no, like a lot of people want to, like on Twitter and stuff. Like man.
Yeah, that's why I always say, like, I trust Rich Gannon's opinion more than I trust our own, or especially, Joe Camaro 45 on Twitter, right? And so, I trust Kirk Morrison and his take on it. A guy that practically spent his whole career with the Raiders, was, again, it's like the last great linebacker we had. Like, that's a long time ago, So, anyway, so, all right, I'm going to give you a little dose of positivity, though, Raider Nation, before we jump in and see a fan's mailbag. All right, so I told you if we win out, we have a 95% chance of making the playoffs. It all starts this week against the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
The Denver Broncos offense. Okay, and I will say that. I'm going to say that and I'll shut up. There was that Colin Cowherd clip that came out this week where he was like, look, I know the Raiders aren't great right now, but I'd rather have their situation than the Denver Broncos. 100% right.
1,000,000%.
Think about if you're freaking a Bronco fan and you're stuck with Mr. Let's Ride for 5 years.
Mr. Unlimited.
Oh my gosh, rough. Okay, so the Broncos offense is averaging 14.6 points per game. That is dead last in the NFL, and their fewest through 9 games since 1966. To put this into perspective, Denver averaged 20.2 points per game under Paxton Lynch in 2016 and 2017, and they averaged 19.7 points per game with Pat Shurmur and Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock in 2021. The Broncos are down worse than we are. And look, and I know the Colts were down worse than we are too, but we beat the Broncos this year. So maybe we can do it again.
Yeah.
He is baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught. He's thrown. It is. He caught it.
We appreciate you all so very, very much. Everyone that's joining us in the chat room tonight. Rick Grimes is in there. Raider Way is in there. Lencho is in there. Ron the Materator is in there. We appreciate you all very much. Bullyface is in there. Renee Rivota is in there. Franklin83. Frank from NorCal. Mile High Raider. So many of our good friends. Tidal Raider is in there. Appreciate you very, very much. All right, so you can contact this show a multitude of ways. You can join us live each and every week at youtube.com/RaidersFanRadio and jump in with John Ogle and Raider Loco and the best chat room there is in all of sports and especially Raider Nation. And so you can join in that way, or you can call the show at 909-345-3346. That is 909-345-3346. Or you can email the show.
And talk slow, though, so they have nowhere to go.
Okay. Show at RaidersFanRadio.com. So show.
You guys get that?
One syllable, 4 letters, SHOW.
There you go, spell it.
At RaidersFanRadio.com. And hey, and folks are taking us up on the emails, Michelle.
Listen, I have a handful
You
of
got a
emails
handful
here.
over there.
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get after it. Michelle, who do we have tonight?
All right, here we go. We got Silver and Black Mac first up. All right. Salute RFR. Salute Nation. From this point forward, all opponents should harass and call DC a crybaby, hopefully activating the real Raider locked inside to lead and just win, baby. Well, that felt good. Deep breaths. Everybody deep breaths. If anything we've learned, one thing so far this season is not to get excited about the progress or production of the team. Not understanding the excuses. These guys practice and prepare for what? Is it for game check or fantasy stats because it show ain't for winning games or play execution? Team captains should be ashamed. Go hit someone and get a win. Simple. Still flying my flags and manning my station, waiting for my Raiders to attack. Salutations from the Silver and Black Mac. Raiders!
Appreciate you, Silver and Black Mac.
That's right. Okay. Next, we have Hooligan Nation. All right.
What's up, Hooligan Nation?
Oh, thanks for the beer swag. Okay. Hooligan Nation here from the 515, screaming at the top of my lungs, what in the actual, you know the word, never.
Not that one. Sorry.
Not that one.
That one.
There we go. Never in all my years have I ever felt this defeated as a fan. Understood that. We've all spent too many years trying to get back to the glory years that were my childhood, watching the black and silver delivering winning seasons and Super Bowl victories. We stayed strong through so many losing seasons. I even held my head up when we drafted Jamarcus Russell in the great scissor debacle. But what a sad state of affairs it is when Mark Davis, a.k.a. Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber, believes that losing to a high school coach is a fantastic job. Did Mrs. Davis dish out so many participation trophies to little Marky for not shitting his diapers or pissing the bed that he thinks everyone is a winner? Wow.
Yikes.
We're going in. I've heard the question asked, how much more embarrassment can Mr. Davis allow before he fires someone? But have you seen this window licker? Bring back the great Al Davis. I have him kick his offspring's ass till he truly understands that this is not just winning. Still going to rep my beloved Raiders, never going to give up on the nation, and I'll hopefully see many of you in December when we take on the Cheatriots in Vegas. Let's go, Raiders. Just win, baby. No, seriously, just win.
Nice. That's from Hooligan Nation.
That's Hooligan Nation, yeah.
Awesome, Hooligan Nation. Yeah, look us up. We'll be there.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be there. Come see us.
We'll be there. Come see us.
Okay. We've got John Ogle next.
Hey, John Ogle.
Hi, RFR. So here we are, halfway through the season, and the outcome looks bleak. Losses are piling up. The team has coaching and leadership problems that are killing the team dynamic. It appears some players are checking out early, and I question if some have ever checked in. With that said, everyone quit your bitching. I'm tired of hearing people say, fire Josh McDaniels. It's all you see in the fan comments and on reports over and over and over. Just because everyone keeps repeating it doesn't mean it will happen.
Right?
Yeah. Do I think McDaniels is doing a good job? No. Do I think he will end up being a good head coach? No. Do I think he will be fired eventually, but not yet? Dave Ziegler is GM and his best friend is the head coach. Dave won't fire Josh and Mark won't either until he feels he has given him a fair shot. I think Mark is too proud to admit he was wrong that quickly. Josh gets another season unless there's a major player revolt and they go to Mark. Mark has admitted he doesn't know football. He needs someone with football knowledge to help guide and keep his operation decisions in check. Preferably someone that has played the game and has the respect of his peers. Maybe Matt Millen, Howie Long, or Louis Riddick. And the team needs a player's coach. Someone the players can relate to and will fight for. But do my opinions mean a damn thing to anyone in the Raider organization? Nope. And unless you're one of the select few that is paid by the Raiders to make decisions, neither does yours. Everyone is allowed to express their thoughts and emotions, but remember that doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. Here's my take. Be a realist, not a pessimist or an optimist. You have no control over this team. You can love and hate them at the same time. What you think should happen likely won't. I accept this, love the Raiders, and root for them every week regardless of the score on their record. Embrace the family, friends, atmosphere, food, and drink. You'll probably need a lot of the adult versions. Control what you can control and have a great time. Remember, the greatest part of the Raiders is Raider Nation. John Ogle, P.S. Idea for next season. Contact the Raiders for a group ticket package and let's organize an RFR takeover for a section of Allegiant Stadium. Shout out Trinidad for initiating this idea.
Oh,
Wow.
nice job,
How fun
John
would that
Ogle,
be?
man.
Yeah, that was a good email.
That was a good
I
email.
loved it.
That was a good email, and I love that idea. I love that
I do
idea.
too.
So here, I would just say this: I love when we have fresh ideas like that. We are limited on bandwidth. If one of you wants to take the reins on that and set it up, we will participate and jump in and promote the heck out of it.
Yep.
But yeah, if you want to contact the Raiders on our behalf and find out how to organize a group, hey man, we'll it might be a little tough because we'd all be coming in from a different place, but we'll figure something out. We'd love to be part of that. Yeah,
that'd be
absolutely.
blast.
Great idea. Great idea.
All right, we got Pirate 1975 next. Here's my take on the current state of the square-wheeled bicycle we all know and love as the Raiders. Again, I'm no expert, only a fan like you guys. The Patriot Way. The Patriot Way is being implemented in Las Vegas. If you're unfamiliar with the Patriot Way, it's basically conform or get out, or you will be forced to leave one way or another. Egos, stats, and personalities don't matter, just production. Do your job. Mark Davis has cut a blank check for this. Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler have a hall pass to do anything, and I mean anything they feel is necessary to bring the Patriot Way to Vegas, whether it works or not. Now, onto the players and the awful dumpster fire of a first season we all have had to go through. And I'm going to simplify the best way I know how to, so bear with me. Mark Davis, neurotic, adulterous mother. Josh McDaniels, no personality, new stepfather. Rich Bisaccia, cool dad. Players, unruly teenage kids. This is good. Think for a second what this team endured with cool dad Bisaccia. Now, think for a second about who Josh McDaniels is trying to emulate. The only man he knows how to, Grandpa Belichick. No more pats on the back when you dent the car door. No more trips to the arcade. No more fishing trips. No more snack cakes before dinner.
I'm like,
And I was like, what's a snake cake? I want one. I didn't know what that was. Snack cakes before dinner. And no more sleepovers. Gone are the days of fun-loving, coming home tipsy, slapping irritated mom on the ass with a drunk wink, handing you $20 for the NES game you've been wanting. Cool dad Bisaccia. Will this all work? Not with the current roster. No way. They'll have to basically adopt a whole new roster to implement the system they're trying to create. This may take more than one painful season. Like it or not, welcome to the Patriot Way. P.S. Unpopular take nowadays, but I support Derek Carr because he's about the only consistent, positive-minded, loyal player over the 9 years we've had him. Throughout this crap show of a team, constantly changing coaches, terrible drafts, on and off season drama, Derek has been the biggest cheerleader for this mismanaged organization, and I can't hate the guy. Whatever happens, but I will always support and thank Derek for being a true Raider. Thanks for listening, Pirate 1975.
Nice job.
That's
Pirate
nice.
1975.
That was fun.
That was good, man.
Yeah,
Good emails
good.
tonight.
Really good. Yeah.
All right. Next, we got Raider Gill 76. Hey, RFR family. Hope all is well.
Hey, Gil.
We were dealt with another loss. It sucks. Unfortunately, like I said before, this is a rebuild season. This loss really stung me big time just for the fact that we got beat by a high school coach. Seeing Carr and his emotions at the podium and words said by Adams led me to believe that maybe there's something going on in the locker room. Hurt players and bad calls, of course, need to be factored in, but this new coaching staff are not focusing on the active roster best attributes. Hope I'm making sense. If anything right now, for better or for worse, our team needs our support. Take care, Raider Nation. Raider Gill 76.
Hey, Raider Gill. Appreciate you.
Nice.
All right. Next, we have PDX Raider.
PDX Raider.
Yeah. All right. Hey, RFR, it's been a minute for me. Folks, we just witnessed the sad sack fight of the century. On one sideline, we had sad sack-looking Jeff Saturday making his first appearance since Groundhog Day. And on the other sideline, we had sad sack Patrick Graham, the man that looks like a toddler that just lost a balloon in the wind. These two battles to the end, and unfortunately for us Raider Nation, we're the only ones defeated. But seriously, who the bleep is Jeff Saturday? Our Raiders couldn't beat him, but there we go. But I need a button over here. But Raiders couldn't beat him.
Yeah, you
do. But I bet big money that RFR Jeff's swag or QB will kick the Colts Jeff ass any day of the week, even on a Saturday. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
A little wordplay.
So they would.
I like it.
Somehow this thought makes me feel better. You can argue whether DC is still the guy or not, but after his emotional presser, you can't argue he doesn't care or love this team. Mad Max apologizing to Raider Nation after the game, Josh Jacobs playing as hard as he does every week, and Devontae Adams calling out coaches. You can't say they don't take this job seriously. I still blame the coaching staff for the Raiders' downfall. We were a 10-win team last year, and the biggest change that happened was hiring McDaniels. We definitely need a new coaching staff because this is not it. I love Raider Nation, but why do we always want to go backwards and hire somebody from the past? I don't want any past coaches or players, and yes, that includes Mr. First and Last out himself, Zay Jones. It's a long shot, but I just want wins against the division and the 49ers. If that happens, I can deal with all the other sad sack Sundays. Good night, RFR. Now I'm off to drink some adult beverages, as the kids say. PDX Raider.
Hey, nice job. Salud.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry. I had to take a drink because Paul is up.
Paul.
Next. Here we go.
Nice.
All right. Good evening, fellow sufferers. I won't ask how everybody is feeling. I think I already know. Okay, let me get this right. Jeff Saturday has no head coaching experience. He only had 1 week with a beleaguered team, but in that time, he managed to derive a system and forge a fighting team spirit that the players were comfortable with, and all that with Doogie Howser as a play caller, and he still beat the Raiders. Now, I know you are all aware of this, but I need to keep repeating it to try and find some level of understanding as to what in the hell happened. Our good friend Wasted Talent said on Monday they'll make an episode of 30 for 30 about this game. As if it wasn't bad enough having to watch Josh McDaniels looking like a 5-year-old lost in a shopping mall, Mark Davis has now said he believes the coach is doing a fantastic job. Well, if McDaniels' job description was to be a clueless fool, then yes, I agree. He's nailed it. My respect for Mark Davis has taken a big hit this week. Had he said, I'm not happy with the way things are going, but I still believe in the process, we just need a little more time to get things moving, then I could get on board with it. But to say he believes Josh McDaniels is doing a fantastic job is mind-numbing and insulting. Yes. I get that he's not going to come out and say, sorry, folks, I've employed a ball bag, but fantastic. Really? Only an idiot could think this coaching staff is doing a fantastic job. And only an idiot would disrespect a fan base by making such a crass statement.
Wow.
When your quarterback is an emotional wreck at the press conference telling the world that 2/3 of the locker room doesn't give a shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing the biggest con artist story since Bernie Madoff. There's only 3 people in the organization that believe this is working well: Davis, Ziegler, and McDaniels. What I'm getting tired of is people saying they deserve time to get their own players together. Not when it's this bad, they don't. And here's another thing: the NFL is constantly moving forward, and by the time Larry, Curly, and Moe decide to get A, B, and C, the NFL will have moved on to M, N, and O. This is all inept coaching. From the locker room to the practice field and onto game day, we now have an owner who seems to be more content to roll around in his pile of dollar bills like Scrooge McDuck, a head coach that is so utterly clueless he has no idea what's going on around him, a defensive coordinator that has a permanent look on his face as if someone has just pissed in his coffee, and Mick Lombardi who, well, I don't know what the hell he's doing. The guy is stealing a living. He's as useless as a family planning clinic phone number on Phillip Rivers' Rolodex.
Oh, man.
As the kids say, Paul.
And you know what the kids say.
Of course.
It's
I'm
you're on the pulse.
I am on the pulse.
Say.
I'm with it. I'm hip.
It's all so damn confusing. There is no logic to it. How does it become so dysfunctional when it all looks so promising? I've been on this Raiders hamster wheel for nearly 42 years, and it's no exaggeration to say I've never felt this level of disappointment. It's off the scale. The draft will now be the biggest in our history. Ziegler has to hit virtually every pick. Free agency has to work and work well, and next season has to be a success otherwise. Well, I don't want to think about that right now. One question I have got for those who are wanting us to tank is, what makes you think we're going to have a successful draft? Our history doesn't point to it, and after all, it's a total crapshoot.
And Josh McDaniels drafted Tim Tebow.
Oh, wow. Now we're really down. It's a marvelous, strange world being a part of Raider Nation. It all seems so easy back at Super Bowl. Oh, I don't know Roman numerals. Which one is that?
That is 27.
27.
Was that right?
Yes, 28. There's 3 lines.
Oh, there's 28. There you go. Yeah.
Sorry, Paul. You should have gave me parentheses. It felt like the success was always going to be there. If you'd have told me back then that
18. Is it XVIII?
Oh, those aren't 10s. Those are 5s. X is a 5.
X is a 5?
Everyone just delete what you just heard.
XV is 10.
Let me see that.
XVIII.
Okay, I think he put an extra X.
That's 20.
because Super Bowl
if he's
18 is the
talking about
last one that we
18?
won, January 22nd, 1984.
He's talking about Super Bowl 18.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah, look, it's right there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, XVIII.
Sorry, Paul. There was 2 X's.
No, that was his fault.
Who won Super Bowl 28?
Who?
Would be 10 years after 84.
It doesn't matter who won.
Shit. Okay. Okay. That Super Bowl. It felt like the success was always going to be there. If you had told me back then that we'd still be waiting for our 4th Lombardi, I'd have laughed in your face because we were so good. I'd never turn my back on them, though. I just wish they'd stop making it so damn hard on us. Now let's go and kill those donkeys. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five time
times two now.
You jackass.
I screwed it up.
Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Damn it, I messed it up. Sorry.
Paul.
It's a rough time.
It is. We're down bad. It's okay.
Paul. 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 Paul.
Paul, your name Paul?
Paul. I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Darn right you are, Paul. That was an
Yeah, you
awesome
are.
email. That was and great job, Michelle.
Yeah.
A lot of emails tonight.
That's a lot
Oh
of
my gosh, I didn't have to read a damn thing.
I know, right?
It's a beautiful thing.
Jeff's over there getting his tongue swole by Beam. Like, he's good, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I
Yeah,
gotta
pour
read
another
nothing.
one, bruh.
I gotta read nothing. All right, so you can also contact the show by calling us at 909-345-3346. You guys good for probably another 30 plus minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. So we've got quite a few calls to get to tonight. Let's go ahead and kick it off with my cousin Sonny and check in what he's got to say about the Raiders.
Murph, what up? Swag Jeff. Who else you got over there now? QB Jeff. You got Swag Jeff, QB Jeff, or QB Murph, host Murph. Then you got Michelle. That's good stuff. Hey, what up to the maiden men? Murph, today's a good day. There's sunshine, and the Raiders suck, but what's new, right? Here's what I think's going to happen. I think this is Derek Carr's farewell tour. I think it's almost like as official as saying it's official, Derek Carr is not going to come back as a Raider. So the next, next half of the season, so to say, is this his, Kobe Bryant farewell tour? There's no way he comes back. McDaniels isn't going anywhere. He's clearly Mark's guy. And Mark says, don't you honor contracts? Well, not if they aren't working, you don't. But anyway, that's regardless of the point. I've accepted that Mark Davis is accepting Josh McDaniels. So then what's the next move, right? The next best thing I think the Raiders could do is bring in the most red-ass motherfuckers there are and surround Josh McDaniels with those guys. As his offensive coordinator, as his defensive coordinator, as his assistants. Because what Rich Bisaccia brought last year was one of those 3 traits you can always pick on Madden for your head coach, right? Motivator, money, or the numbers guy, right? Or a coach guy, right? Like inside the numbers, X's and O's. And McDaniels is clearly an X's and O's guy, but he has no fucking connection with the team. Yep. And if you've been paying attention to culture and society, right now, it's all about kind of us versus them and the people versus the power. And if McDaniels came in like a power person, and he hasn't connected with the people. And this motherfucker better, or we're going to have a shit show for the next couple of years, right? So if we can bring in some red-ass people to motivate McDaniels, or at least motivate the players around McDaniels, because Rich had that motivator tactic, man. He wasn't the smartest X's and O's guy, but when you're coaching the best of the best at the top level, you don't need to be fucking X's and O's. They know how to dominate. I think McDaniels has it wrong. At the NFL level, it is important to motivate these people. They know how to play the game, but every man doubts himself from time to time and acts out on emotions when he shouldn't. That's when a true leader steps up. That's what we need to put around McDaniels so we can see the team flourish. Peace.
Oh, man, I love it there. Cousin Sonny.
Nice.
Good stuff.
1,000%. Yeah.
Love it. And and Jeff, you brought it up on Silver and Black today. You said it, and at the moment it didn't hit me the way that it did after thinking about it for a hot minute. Like you said, like maybe they should, because they're so famous for bringing in alumni. You're like, bring in a Bolitnikov, bring in a Villapiano, bring in somebody like that to come in there and speak to a team, not as fiery, but just, as equally great of a leader and stoic and Art Shell. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why not like bring some of these guys around to try to like help try to connect the dots a little bit more or something. I don't know. Like, but with the way when you said that, and then now Sonny brought that up, I'm like, that kind of makes sense. Or probably most importantly, probably Charles Woodson. That's probably the guy.
I think that's the guy, right? I think that's the guy. I mean, you gotta have someone in there that understands, because they always talk, we're changing the culture here. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're bringing in a new era of the Raiders, all this stuff. And there's not a whole lot of guys that have been on this team that understand what that actually truly means to be a Raider. So bring in a guy like Chuck. Bring in a guy like,
even Richard Seymour, who was all over the place today.
Richard
He was there this week, right?
Phil Villapiano and all that stuff. All those guys are going to be there in December anyway.
That's right.
Fly him in a week or two early and say, hey, come on.
Ray Chester, all that. Oh, my gosh, I can't.
Calling a meeting.
Calling a meeting.
Yep.
All right, let's check in next. We've got a new made man here tonight. Yes, we do. Let's go. So we've heard from him twice, and now this is the third time. Let's check in with our new good friend, Animal Mother, who called us at halftime from Allegiant Stadium.
Oh no!
Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? The Animal Mother calling in live from the Death Star at halftime. I wish I could say I was encouraged, but we look pretty anemic this first half. Huh. Damn. It is what it is. Hanging in there. Boys are having a good time. Got the kids here for their first Raider game. Met a lot of Colts fans. They're mostly pretty friendly, but most of them also, I think, have an extra chromosome. We'll see. I'll give you guys my update at the end of the game, where we're at. And, we'll go from there. Love you guys. Love the nation. Great to see Richard Seymour out here. He's out here lighting a flame into the Hall of Fame. Got the Richard Seymour towel, so at least we got that going for us. But Josh McDaniels might be looking for a job soon, and, I coach youth football, so I might just walk my ass over there to Al Davis and, interview for the job because I could call better plays than him. All right, let's go. All right, we'll call you at the end. Out.
All right, there he is, Animal Mother, calling in live from Allegiant Stadium. So he never called back.
I'd say not.
Yeah, and you know what? And after the way that game ended, and if I'm there with my kids for their first Raider game ever, I'm probably not calling back either, though.
Nope.
But much respect and congratulations to the newest made man here at Raiders Fan Radio. And so let's welcome him, Animal Mother, to your seat now at the table.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
All right, there is Animal Mother.
Nice.
Congratulations, my friend.
So Vibrator's in the chat.
Yeah.
You know her well. She says they ought to bring Margot Robbie in. Bring in Margot Robbie as the next coach.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she said she could be dressed as Harley Quinn. It's firing everybody up. Everyone's really fired up.
Oh my gosh. There's many ways to motivate people, right?
That's right.
All right.
The bat.
All right, next up, let's check in with our good buddy Sugar Shane.
What's good, Murph, Mosh, Swag, Jeff? This is Sugar Shane calling from a new place in Texas, Odessa, Texas. Oh boy, instant reaction after this Colts game. I love you guys. I love everybody in the chat.
We love you too.
I love everybody in the Main Men text group. But boy, I do not love this team. Just want to say Foster Moreau, MVP of the game next to Josh Jacobs. Guy tried, but that last catch, or what he tried to catch, he didn't catch.
Yeah.
Long story short, fellas, I just want to say for this game, for this season alone, we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of terrible things happen afoot. But the holiday season is near us. Just want to say I look forward to that versus Raiders football. So, long story short, have a good night, fellas. I appreciate the chat. Everybody listening, have a good night. And boy, do these Raiders suck. They stink, and I don't like them. Ugh. I'm a fan at the end of the day, but I want to see them succeed, man. I want to see them go through, conquer with everything. How do we lose to our first game coach? First moment as being a coach in the league in Jeff Saturday. What is that all about? I mean, hey, you know, you can wrap a ribbon in a turd, but it's still a turd at the end of the day. Am I right? So have a good night, fellas. Much love.
There he is, Sugar Shane. Oh, my gosh. Raider Rick says, FYI, I'm definitely on board with the Margot Robbie thing.
Yeah,
so
sure.
apparently Margot Robbie's going to be our new head coach. Instead of the red and black, though, she'll have to be silver and black for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, John Ogle said maybe she could just be a cheerleader, and Paul goes, it's nearly 2 a.m. Don't do this to me. It's an image I can't cope with, pal.
Poor Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right, next up, let's check in with our good buddy, Rev Raider, up there in Jersey.
Going on, Murph? Uncle Mosh in his retirement lawn chair, young Swaggo, Michelle Sweat. Rev Raider calling from Jersey, man. Another week, man. I tell you this. Penalties, stupid penalties, drop passes, still getting killed over the middle and not stopping the run is what kills us, you know. I mean, stuff like that, you just can't have it, you know. It comes down to the coaching, too. Because if the same things keep happening over and over again, you know, I don't want to hear the excuses. The players don't fit in the scheme and stuff like that. If you're a good coach, you'll find ways to make it work. You know, it seems like on defense, they keep getting smoked in zone when you're playing off. How about you move up? You know, they play at a better rate when they're in man and press and stuff like that. I know you can't do it all the time, but damn, you know, it's just a whole bunch of garbage. Like, you know, you got players, you can tell. If you go back and watch the game, you can see them visibly, you know, trying to will their way to a win. Devontae Adams, man, that one play where he was dragging people for the first down, dude wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see DC when he's throwing passes and hitting strong, and like when he's hitting Devontae and making big plays, he's in it. You know, other than the first quarter, they struggled. And that was even from drop passes and stuff. But I just don't like, you know, this regime, I'm not feeling it, you know. But at the same time, I get what Mark Davis is saying. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, wasn't torn down in a year either, buddy.
There you go.
You know, and at the same time, don't piss on me without the courtesy of calling it rain, you know. And sit there and say that Josh McDaniels is doing a phenomenal job. Nah, bruh. You know, he needs to do better. He sucks right now. There are certain things like, you know, I can respect play calling, but like on third down, we keep running the same plays over and over again, the deep ends and stuff like that. Or as they call them, dig routes and stuff. Come on, bro. Switch it up. There's things that he's got to do better. And it's terrible. I don't even know what to say anymore. I still ride with my team, you know, and I still, like, I'm rocking with Derek Carr and his emotion is cool. I'm cool with it because at the end of the day, they're the ones who got to step on that field and play, not the coaches. They're the ones who got to put their blood, sweat, and tears out there on that grass. So, you know, everybody got to step up. That's all I got, man. Peace.
All right, there he is. Rev Raider. Killing it. Love it. And appreciate Animal Mother in the chat.
Oh my
God. Animal Mother. First he said this is the best day of his life. And then drops it for being made, and then drops a $10 donation. He says, FYI, I thought I called back after the game from the casino. Was hitting the sauce pretty good at that point. So some random person is probably very confused by the message I left about the game.
That's unbelievable.
Incredible, dude.
That's unbelievable.
I'd give anything to hear that.
Oh, I know, right? Absolutely. And I'd love to, and footage of that person listening to it.
Yeah, just
being like, like, hey, son, what's this Raiders fan radio thing? Yeah, anyways, good stuff there from Animal Mother, and great stuff there from our good friend Rev Raider. All right, now let's go to a new caller to the show. Love it when we get new callers to the show, called twice, and let's check in with our new friend, Section 308.
Murph, Black Jeff, Joe Sweat, Uncle Mosh, Section 308 here. I come to every home game. I'm fucking loud. Every third down. Today, though, I don't know. It's like we lost a toddler bowl. You get me? We lost the toddler bowl. Two bad teams, one team with a new coach, and the new coach wins. Okay. Before the Raider fans can jump all over me, remember, Herbert came into our stadium and converted a 4th and 14 multiple times. Derek Carr can convert crap. Think about that. That's our offense. Our defense is what we knew it would be. Our offense is what it was. I wore my 17 jersey. Season seat holder. Section 308. I wore my 17 jersey. It's the only one mentioning anything in interviews showing any fucking heart. That's all I gotta say. What happened tonight? Through that, we lost the toddler bowl. I don't think we'll win another game. Peace out. Much love.
Much love back at you, Section 308. Appreciate the call. And I love these calls coming alive from Allegiant Stadium. These are great.
That's really cool.
That's really, really cool. I mean, obviously, I feel for you because we can hear the dejection in your voice. Anyways, but do love the calls coming from the stadium. And so, yeah, if you go to a game, man, definitely give us a shout. Next up, all right, let's check in. He called back. Let's check in with our buddy, Section 308.
Section 308, once again. Hey, look, man, props to you and your boy finishing his first year in the Navy. I'm calling back. Mine is finishing his 5th. Re-enlisted. Hey, props to all the veterans out there. Seriously.
Much respect.
Talking to my boy here. We're here at the Mandalay Bay. Game's over. Sitting here like a bunch of fucking losers. And I wanted to say, same thing we've been reiterating all fucking day before the game started. We did more with less last year. Our number 1 was Hunter Renfrow, and number 2 was Zay Jones. Number 1 this year, Devontae Adams. Let that sink in. Your number 1 is Devontae Adams. Okay? And then you got Matt Collins. We did more with less last year. Don't talk about the offensive line. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to put blame on anybody, but I'm sitting here at fucking Mandalay Bay like a fucking loser. And these fucking Colts fans are over here fucking celebrating because they just fucking won the Toddler Bowl. Okay? I don't know what to do with this. This shit ain't hurt. All I gotta say is, we've been here before fucking Gruden. We were here before fucking Josh McDaniels. And we're going to be here long after them. The Raider Nation, till I fucking die. See y'all. This is Section 308. You'll find me standing on every damn third down, being loud. Peace out. Much love. Capo, you got this, brother. Peace out.
All right. That's awesome.
Nice.
Love it. Good stuff there from our buddies in Section 308. Okay, so I think it's Alex Mendoza or whoever it is that's in the chat room calling us repeatedly right now. We're not taking live calls tonight. So just call and just leave a message because we've got so many voicemails to get through from folks that have called us this week. So we appreciate the phone calls, but we're not taking live calls, although we're probably going to do a show where we take live calls up here in the very near future. Yeah, it should be fun. But tonight we've got to get to all the folks that have already called in and left their messages, but appreciate your tenacity, man. Like I think he's called like 6 times in a row now. So I appreciate it.
Like a true hotline.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, trying to win them tickets.
All right, next up, let's check in with our good friend. She is one of the newest made women around here, and in the spirit of Michelle and her F-bomb sommelier.
It's coming.
You know it's coming. Here's the one.
Are you sure it's her?
Oh, I'm positive.
Okay.
Yes, because she says this is PSP Raiderette. Yeah.
It is a PSP Raiderette. I don't even know if I want this to count as any kind of, I don't know if I care for this to count for me being a May woman. This is some motherfucking bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? My quarterback is in front of people on the news crying because he lost. You fucking pussy. You know what? I'm pretty sure you're going to have to bleep a lot of this shit. Fuck this shit. This is not the season we were promised. This is not the season we were told we were going to have. We got Adams. Your fucking boy. This is supposed to be the whole thing that's supposed to build everything. Regardless of everything that's supposed to be built in this season, this was what's supposed to be the reason. We were not supposed to be the jokes of the NFL. And they were telling us before this shit, we were going to be the bottom. You know what? We are. We're at the bottom. And it's a fucking joke. I'm tired of this shit. I cannot say get rid of Carr because I personally am not qualified to know who or what we need to replace him, but I'm looking at some qualified, maybe quarterbacks who are qualified to replace him. But I'm not putting any names out there because I'm not qualified. Like I said, I'm not qualified to do that. But fucking damn, get your fucking shit together.
Please.
We are, oh my God, we are losing season. We are the joke of the NFL. Get your fucking shit together, please.
Paul says you need to come out of your shell a bit more. PSP, speak your mind and don't be shy. There she is, PSP Raiderette. Too funny. All right, next up. Speaking of the, oh my gosh, the F-bomb crew here. I tell you, these folks have put me in overtime putting these calls together. Let's go down to Alabama and check in with our buddy Josh in the 703.
Hey, fam. There's nothing to be said about yesterday, really, that hasn't always been said before. I want to show love to Derek Carr and Devontae. I think they broke Carr, man. I mean, hell, Carr was cursing in the press conference. You don't ever do that. Man's up there crying and stuff. And you can just feel the frustration that he's feeling with everything that's going on. Josh Dan's got to go. I don't care what no one says. Derek Carr is not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady. I get it. Fine. But he's a damn good quarterback. He helped get this team to the playoffs last year with everything that's going on. And this team is in fucking shambles right now. We are in fucking shambles.
Whoops, missed some.
Embarrassing.
Yes.
I mean, you can just tell that these coaches, they don't feel respected to me at all. I don't know what the hell Patrick Graham is doing. Like, I'm getting on Chandler Jones, but I also got to look at Patrick Graham and go, can y'all not stop Matt Ryan?
Oh,
The man ran for almost 40 yards on a play. He's 30-something years old. He runs slower than I do. And y'all let him get that far. Like, nobody seems to be trying on here. Other than Max Crosby. And when Nate Hobbs is healthy, him. Denzel Perryman wasn't playing yesterday. Cleveland Farrell wasn't playing yesterday. What do the Colts do well? They run the ball. They have Jonathan Taylor. You have two of your best run stoppers they're not even in the game. They're healthy scratches. Just not it. I mean, I heard Des LaPerriere might have had an injury. Okay, fine. But Cleveland Farrell may not be the best pass rusher, but the man can play against the run and set an edge. And you don't even play him yesterday. He's a healthy scratch. And I'm not going to lie, I had hope at one point yesterday. I saw you could see Carr and Adams. They look at each other. They dap each other up like, hey, let's go do this. And it's like, all right, yeah, let's go. And then the team, I mean, we score a touchdown. Great play by Devontae. Penalties are killing us. And you do all that, and then you just go ahead and just go let them go down the field and score. It's just pathetic, bro. And I don't know. When Carr said this stuff at the podium, I don't know if he's talking about certain players. I don't know if he's talking about the coaches. He's talking about somebody. And Mark Davis needs to pay attention to the one person who has been through this shit with this team and has never quit on this team. You may not like Derek Carr, but the man has not quit on this.
Google Voice has Josh in the 703 is bigger than that.
Man, Google Voice. Anyway, what I was saying is, you may not like the man. You may think that, oh, he's trash, whatever. I'm not saying, like, you guys. I'm just saying in general. Raiders Twitter is, oh, my God. But my point, though, is that this man loves this team. You can never question that he loves this team. He loves being a Raider. He loves playing for the Raiders. He wants to win for the fucking Raiders. And I don't know what the whole other rest of the team is doing. I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know what. But I saw last year where this team came together through all the bullshit, got to the playoffs, and was a couple plays from making it to the next round. And this year, we ain't even going to sniff the playoffs, man. I put fucking money on it. We ain't going to sniff the playoffs. I'm sorry if I'm ranting. A little pissed off right now. And the more you talk about it, the more this shit starts to come out. Man, and penalties, what happened to discipline? There's no fucking discipline on this team. It's like, stop fucking holding. Stop. You know that we're the Raiders. You know that we're not going to get any love on these foul calls, these penalties. So don't give them a fucking reason. Man, hell, Jeff Saturday, dude, I can lead a fucking man. Unless fucking soldiers, I damn sure can lead fucking some football players. I don't need to be the smartest guy in the fucking room. I don't need to know all the X's and O's. That's exactly what Jeff Saturday just did to us yesterday. He went to his coach and said, hey, I don't know shit about being an offensive or defensive coordinator. I can motivate and lead men. I'm going to let y'all do your job.
True.
Hell, if he can do it, I might as well have a chance to shot at it. Man, the Broncos.
Nice.
Wow, that was amazing. So good. Josh in the 703, man. Excellent job. Hey, old friend of the show, Chris Potts, used to be on the Fan Club Blitz all the time. Chris Potts is in the chat room. Says Matt Ryan is still effing running. Raider Way is in there. Says Chariots of Fire was playing on that Matt Ryan.
No kidding.
I will laugh at that for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh, that is so
I can
funny.
hear it and I can see it.
Oh, we got to put together like a TikTok or something of that. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, too funny, man. The chat is on fire now. Raider Loco and there says, LOL, love this rant. Paul says, brilliant, Josh. Yeah, Josh is 703. Yes, great call. All right, let's check in next with our good friend. He's the guy that painted this Hunter Renfrow picture behind me here. He is one of my homies from freaking San Jose, man. And he's from Alum Rock, and so we call him Alum Rock. In fact, this is now your new name, by the way. His name is Jesus. But he's Alum Rock Jesus. I love that.
Nice.
Saludos to the Raider Familia. Saludos to the Raider Nation, man. Love all you guys. I love Raiders Fan Radio and all that you guys do. Anyway, this is Raider Jesus. From the east side of San Jose, a.k.a. Alum Rock, California. Anyway, shoot. Man, this is tough, but I want to stay positive here and just recognize all the great doers here. And I would big shout out to Max Crosby, Amik Roberts, Josh Jacobs, and myself for buying his jersey. Also, shout out to Lincoln Kennedy and Jason Jarwanowitz. Sorry about mispronouncing that name, but anyway, I think they do a really, really fantabulous job calling the name, man. No disrespect to the old guy we had before. Anyway, so yeah, man. Shout out to Raider Nation, man. We got each other. We got each other's back. That's all we got in times like this. And you know what? The real fans, the real fans stick together. The real fans stick by the team when the going gets tough, man. You know, when times are down, and we've never been so much down than this time right now. That's when the real fans come out, man. Once a Raider, always a Raider. And I only got one more thing to say about this. Ricka-bracka, fire-cracker, this boom, bah! Raiders! Raiders!
Rah, rah, rah! Let's go!
Yeah.
Nice job, Jesus. I love it, man.
I love Jesus.
He's great. In all forms and fashion.
in all
Absolutely.
The way, the truth, and the life.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Raider G. So for Alum Rock, so that's right. So Eastside San Jose. So I'm from Seven Trees, or spent a lot of my youth anyways in high school and all that in Seven Trees, right there adjacent to Alum Rock. And so that's pretty cool, man. From right down the road. All right, good stuff there from Raider Jesus, or Alum Rock Jesus. Let's go now to our good buddy Donovan, another recent made man around here.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Donovan, man. Hey, as far as the game, it's just crazy that game even came down to the last drive once again. And we had, opportunities, Foster Moreau and Devontae Adams. Like, at the end of the day, go to your best player. Last play of the game, whatever. But the fact that, people coming at Derek Carr, oh, he's this, he's that, people don't understand why he was getting emotional. It wasn't about, oh, we all got to come together and play together for each other. It's like, I'm so mad. I want to win so bad that it got me crying, man. And it's like people don't respect the effort or the stuff. Like he said, just the practice, man. It is something going on in that locker room, bro. And I've been thinking, like looking at other Raiders content creators, people got their views on Derek Carr, but it's just like, damn, man. These past 20 years, quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, bro, he's the one that's been showing the most passion to play. And people want to talk about, oh, he hasn't won no playoff game. This dude made the NFL top 100 4 times in 9 years. 4 straight 4,000 passing yards. 200 plus TD, the franchise passing TD record in less than a decade, bro, with no consistency. Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, then Ruggs. We've seen the potential of Ruggs. Now we got Devontae Adams. People want to get rid of Carr. Like, Devontae Adams and Derek Carr ain't put up 4 100-yard games in 9, you know what I'm saying, in 9 games. We've seen the potential. We've seen the potential on Monday night against the Chiefs, man. And it's like, bro, he's trying. He wants to win here. Man, he ain't shed not one tear last year, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, after everything, you know what I'm saying, we lose to the Colts. Like, we lost to them. That's what got him emotional. It's like, bro, it is no excuse, man, but it kind of hit me, man. I'm watching America's game. I'm on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? I seen a little clip. Todd Christensen, man. He said, look, offensive, you know what I'm saying, y'all, coaches, y'all can come up with the game plan, whatever, but on Sunday, that's our field, man. That's our field. Derek Carr got to take over, bro. Derek Carr, he got to turn to DC4, man. All right, it's going to come down to Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Foster Moreau offense, man. I think I said Mike Hollins, man. And on defense, hey, Amit Robinson, Trayvon Moore, Max Crosby, bro. And AJ Cole and the Iceman. That's it, man. Because this regime, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They on their own thing, but, bro, it got to come down, man. Derek Carr got to lead us once again, bro.
All right, there it is, Donovan.
Right on.
Nice job, Donovan.
Great call.
Great call. Keep them coming, Donovan. Once again, newly made man. And if you want to become a made man or a made woman here at Raiders Fan Radio, you can email us an indefinite amount of times, or you can call the show. And if we play your message 3 times, then we refer to you as the next made man or made woman. So appreciate you very, very much. All right, let's see. What do we got left? We've got old school guy. We've got Historian is what we call him. He lives down there in Houston, and he is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murph, Mosh, Swag, Jeff, Nation, made men and made women. Houston Raiders Steve, boy, I tell you what, I'm so sick of hearing about Jeff Saturday. That man couldn't even be good enough to be the character Friday in the Robinson Crusoe novel by Daniel Defoe back in 1719. That guy couldn't even make...
Okay, if there's any reason, any question why we call him the Historian, there you go.
Novel by Daniel Defoe back in 1719. That guy couldn't even make it as a Jiffy Lube mechanic wannabe. Hey, you want fries with that shake? He couldn't even qualify for that. That guy's such a waste. You know, he's just one of those haters that doesn't like us, you know, said, oh, they played terrible, and go win, baby, after they beat the Raiders. I hope that guy sucks. Yeah, that's what I think about the Colts. Whoever goes to Indianapolis on vacation, that's like going to Buffalo or Pittsburgh in the summertime for vacation. Nobody does that. Actually, they do go to Buffalo to go to Niagara Falls, but he does, you know, it's just, that guy's an idiot. You know, he coach high school football. Come on, man. I could coach high school football. Murph, you could coach college or high school or whatever
Darn right.
you want. We all know that coach is coach over there with Mosh. It's like, Jeff, man, you could be coach of anything you want to be. At least you'd be better than a high school coach named Saturday. He can't even be Friday.
You could be a life coach.
Screw that dude.
There you go.
Anyway, we're going to be back. I don't know when. Go Raiders. Goodbye.
Nice.
Historian Houston Raiders Steve.
You walk into the Raider image, I'll coach you.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm still laughing because in the chat, Animal Mother said he was screaming for like 15 minutes. No, when Matt Ryan was running.
Oh, yes.
Seeing it.
Oh, my gosh. And Paul said something about he's still running and he hasn't crossed the 10-yard line. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, but it's true.
It was rough. That was rough times.
That was rough.
All right. So we appreciate you with all your phone calls, all your emailers. So we take the best of the best and we award a Sizzler each week to the best phone caller or emailer. That Sizzler award is named in honor of Big Raider Trucker, who won it so many times. We had to then, we just took him off of eligibility and named it after him. So it's the BRT Sizzler Award. And Swag Jeff, you have the duty of award. And I say duty because
duty. Sorry.
You said duty.
Duty.
Sorry.
What the hell was that?
You know, like a high pitched one.
You like meow.
I was trying to do like, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
no, you sounded like. So have you ever seen SpongeBob? You sounded like Gary the snail, who was also their cat. Goes you big stupid ass.
All right, I'll go back to the old faithful. You ready? And then let us know the Sizzler. Okay,
Let's
ready?
do it. There we go.
Oh my gosh, you're so damn stupid. So we had a bunch of great emails tonight. There we go.
That's the
bunch
one.
of great emails from Silver and Black Mac, Hooligan Nation, John Ogle, Pirate 1975, Raider Gill, PDX Raider, and of course Paul. And then we started off the voicemails with Sonny, who said that this is DC's farewell tour. And what are our next moves, Raider Nation? We need to bring in a bunch of red asses. Animal Mother called from Allegiant Stadium, got made, and said the team looked like shit.
Yeah.
Sugar Shane, an instant reaction. I do not love this team, but respect to Foster. Respect to Foster.
I do not love this team.
I do not love this team. So
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so Rev Raider talks about what's killing us. If Josh is a good coach, he will find ways to win. Section 308 called a couple times, said we lost the Toddler Bowl, and we won't win another game. And he's sitting in Mandalay Bay just dropping every F-bomb that he could come up with.
At Colts fan.
Absolutely. We've dropped several F-bombs at Mandalay Bay. You know?
Darn right we have.
because of a crap game or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know, at the tables, you know?
Yeah, we have. Why you gotta reveal our truth?
Yeah, why you gotta be talking about old stuff?
Don't bring that shit up, man.
Don't bring that shit up.
You think the Raiders lose bad?
I've seen you lose bad.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where do you think we learned it?
Oh, there you go. Well, every
That's
time
it.
you're at a casino, you're wearing Raider shit.
And every time we go to the casino, we're going to be wearing Raider shit.
Well, every day we're
That's what
wearing
I'm
Raider
talking
shit.
about,
Yeah.
Michelle.
Yeah.
I saw a post, and not to derail this, but I saw a post. Somebody said something like, "What?" There was like a Twitter poll, and it was like, "What do the Raiders have to do for you to start wearing your Raider gear again?"
Oh.
I'm like,
They haven't done anything
this
to
shit's
stop me.
24/7, man.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
they don't care. It
Nonstop.
doesn't matter what the record is, what
That's
time
right.
of year it
Yeah.
is, what nothing is, man. We in silver and black
No,
every day.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Absolutely. So PSP Raiderette, who is absolutely fired up, and we need a new coach for sure. Jesus Alvarez says, tough times, but try to stay positive and let's stick together, Raider Nation. Let's not fall
Absolutely.
apart. Donovan says, keep feeding the best players, and he gives us his take on Derek Carr and tells Raider Nation to hang in there because he's still good. He's done a lot of good stuff for us,
Right.
so just hang in there. And Houston Raider Steve with some solid burns on Jeff Saturday.
Oh, it was
Yeah, they
good.
were
Good.
Solid
Good stuff.
burns.
Sick
Yeah.
burns. Sick burns,
Yeah.
the kids call them.
Sick burns, yeah. Yeah. So, but the winner of tonight's BRT Sizzler Award goes to a guy that gives respect to Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, says Josh McDaniels has got to go, but man, F Google Voice. It is Josh in the 703.
I am the Sizzler.
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 Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler. We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we are here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Hollins.
Whoa. That descended.
I'm just making weird noises.
This goes out quick. All right. We appreciate you, Raiders. Congratulations to everybody that our new made man. Congratulations to our Sizzler Award winner. We appreciate all the calls and all the emails and all the amazing things that go on in the chat room tonight. I'll leave it to shout out for my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff. But I want to thank my two co-hosts tonight. Thank you to Michelle.
Absolutely.
Thank you to Jeff for being here. It's been so much fun. And I tell you what, before I usually throw it to Jeff, but I'm gonna throw it to you, Michelle,
Okay.
and then you can throw it to Jeff to close us out. So thank you very much tonight. Thank you for whom Michelle told.
Yeah, that was fun. I love a good session where I can just let it all out. But listen, Raider Nation, hang in there. Good times are coming. I know it. I can feel it. And if I know, I know.
Yeah, you
so
do.
let's go.
Yeah, you do.
Jeff?
Totally agree. The product on the field might be shit, but we're not.
Hell no, we're not.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So thanks to everyone in the chat. Pirate 1975, LNM Pro, Tider Raider, Franklin 83, Lencho. Let's see, Paul, Kill Jadis,
Paul?
Tyrone Graves, Tider Raider. Thanks to everyone for joining us for another episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Congratulations to Josh in the 703 for the Sizzler tonight. And congratulations to Animal Mother, who became maybe the first guy that ever got made calling from a game.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so much respect. So, hey, thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we three take a lighter side journey
we
into
do.
the dark side. Yeah. Don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland.
You damn right it did.
Let's get better at it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
nice.
Let's do it. Thanks, everyone. We love you.
Adios, malingerers.
See you. Bye.
Peace.
Get out YouTube.
Goodbye.
Oh, we're off next week.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, Raider Nation.
We're off next week.
Follow us on TikTok, though. We'll be posting stupid shit.
Please.
Always.